Let's go. It's that time. Underground World News Live. Back again. November 19th, 2025. Steely, thank you for the super chat right at the gate. Much love. Much love, everybody out there. I think I've seen some 5x5s already, but there we go. John Boy, thank you. Let It Burn. Bella, Sailor in the house. Hope Faith, Tom, OG, Academy, Wolf Club, Geo. Hope all is well with everyone. Yeah, plenty to cover here tonight. And man, just I'm still loading up tabs on the side here of other stuff right before we went live, adding to it. And I usually sit here and do this for a couple hours at least, set up the show, and anymore, it's an overload of stuff. We had a show the other night that went 3 hours, and I still didn't get everything covered. Good to see everybody checking in from all over. I hope all is good. And we're going to get this thing going here with a quick check on the weather. Things are looking all right now, but it looks like we've got another round of super cold air coming in. Just wanted to give the heads up on it. I mean, we are walking into winter, But in case people are not expecting it, I'm not sure what you're going to see for Thanksgiving. That's kind of the big concern. Everyone's traveling Thanksgiving. It's one thing to have flight delays because of whatever, government shutdown and all that garbage. But the weather, a whole different animal here that could cause some issues. Now, look, the first time I ever got caught in a bad ice storm unexpectedly, I took off and we were driving to Texas to go work, me and a buddy Willis. And we didn't check the weather. We just thought, hey, we're going south. Like, it's got to be warmer. There's no way we're going to run into ice and snow, right? Well, I cut from Kentucky down on right across through Oklahoma and the top of Texas. And it was at the top of Texas. I hit one of the worst storms I've ever hit in my life in terms of ice storm. We were on the highway, complete whiteout. Ended up having to pull over and couldn't even drive anymore. And was kind of freaked out, like, what's going to happen here? And when the sun came up, I'll never forget it. The sun came up, and we kind of woke up again on the side of the road, freezing, in a truck, little S10. And when the sun came up, everything was like golden from all the fog and everything that was like around. It was like nuts. It was like all golden. Like, got onto the road, kept driving. It was just wild all the way. It stayed like that as we crossed into New Mexico. I'll never forget that. And it wasn't 20 minutes later, I got pulled over and got a ticket in New Mexico, which pissed me off pretty bad. Yeah, that's you don't want to go through stuff like that out there. Literally, we pulled over because it was so bad. It caught me by surprise. So I said, never again. So I try to keep people in the know what's going on. And in terms of the whole global warming climate scam that's been pushed upon us for years and years and years, and people are going to have to get used to this. Grey Wolf, much love. Thank you for the super chat. They're literally flipping the script. Literally. And they're going the other way with this. And they're saying that, look, a new ice age could pop up at any time. Now, we've long said this. Like, look, if they're saying that it's going to be global warming, we're probably heading toward cooling, you know? Well, here they are saying that the global warming is going to cause the new ice age. And it's because none of the data is there to support all the crap they've been pushing. Now, as this falls apart, so too will all the crap with carbon, tracking carbon, your carbon footprint, all this garbage, cow farts, all when it attacks you and all this stuff, that ridiculousness, it'll be gone. There's a lot of ridiculousness out there, a lot of pathetic crap, and they push this all over the place, not just in the Americas, but it's been hard and heavy in Europe, especially on the farmers, the whole carbon thing. But it's a joke. It's a scam. It's a scam. If anything, over due time, here, at least in the short term, we're at the top of a solar cycle. So earthquakes and weather patterns are kicked up at the top of that, and it also is affected on whether or not it's an El Nino or a La Nina. It's a different pattern, which I also feel they affect that. They manipulate that, and everything. But at this point, they've got such control over the atmosphere that they could do anything, really, I feel. So, hey, just saying. Scientists, climate scientists now, since the whole narrative has fell apart, it can only go one way, and that's the other way. And they're going full steam, opposite direction. Just saying. So when you start to hear this from here on out, Them saying, well, when we Al Gore out there talking about ice age coming, new ice age, or this and that, and you're gonna be like, what? Weren't you the dude out here hugging trees not long ago talking about climate change and global warming? Well, what they've done strategically is it used to be all global warming. Believe it or not, they moved that terminology to the back, like the back of the bus, and they moved climate change to the front and pushing that heavy to try to put the whole warming idea behind. Now it's just the climate change, and we've been in that. Now it's about to pivot to a new ice age, to global cooling. What are they going to say now? And what is going to happen in the next 5 years, and it's all your fault. If it's anybody's fault, it's these fools that has lied to us, that were supposed to be the professionals, the scientists, the meteorologists, and all of the top people from NASA to all these other agencies that lie to us about everything. And they control everything. And we know this full scale. And weather is a weapon. No doubt about it, it's a weapon. It will continue to be used as one, unfortunately. Grey Wolf, thank you for the coffees. Best way to support the channel. Looking into a way to get the things to pop back up on the screen for the coffees. Although I think I'm going to have to pay for a restream thing for a year. And I might do that here in the very beginning of the year, new year. Because Restream's been working for us. Unlike OBS or other places. The only downfall, I was telling Tacos about this, is that I noticed here on Restream using it, everything's been way smoother than what it used to be with OBS. But if I try to stream to multiple platforms, it starts giving me all kinds of problems. And I've also noticed that it keeps me in a range to where anytime, like, say we hit like 1,500 people or try to go beyond it, it starts its crap. It's like every time. So when I go and I look in the Restream, it says need more power. And I'm like, what? Need more power? Like, you're throttling me. And it's like upgrade to pro, blah, 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 price. I'm like, so you are literally throttling me. And I know it. And you're doing it to try to get me to spend money. It's sick how this game is. But since the service is good, really don't have a whole lot of other options. I'm probably going to pay for it come the beginning of the year. And we'll see what happens then. Anyhow, if you're thinking about getting into streaming, every setup is different. Everyone's different. But OBS just went down the tubes for me. Let's go to space. Got some big time updates here. If you guys didn't see the video I put out earlier today, make sure to check it out. 3i Atlas. Matter of fact, there's no way I can talk about this without going over and showing you the images from this. First off, the sun showing some sunspots, but no real big activity. Give it another week or so, and the big sunspots are going to be coming back around, and we'll check back in on that. I thought I seen an object. What is today's date? The 17th. Yes, we've got an object here coming closer than the moon. And I like to point these things out because anytime they come that close, I mean, that's close. If they have other little objects with them, you can see fireballs. Who knows? But at 0.3 LD, we've got an object coming in super close. Anything that's closer than 0.5, I mean, that's half the distance to the moon. That's very close. You get into 0.2, it's like getting into our atmosphere. Like right there. So some of these, when I put these reports out, we've seen fireballs like within 24 hours. So let's jump to 3i Atlas. And really, to me, there was two big type of stories that dropped today. I covered both of them, updates on it. One was the Epstein, which we're going to dive into that here as well. And then the updates to 3i Atlas. This is, it's got to be one of the most embarrassing moments ever, period, out here, because they're lying so hard and so bad. It's just, it's ridiculous. So let me go to the feed here. This is the video that I dropped, okay? So NASA, they had a live stream today, 3 p.m. Eastern. A lot of us sitting here waiting, and we watched. And right out the gate, you could tell there was some kind of nervousness that none of them really should have had if it was a real free-flowing type of event. So the first guy that came on, I mean, he was so stone cold faced. He was looking straight forward, almost like a robot, spit all the stuff out, passed it off to this lady who acted all entitled with all the stuff, but kind of regurgitated what he said. And then to the next dude, and then to the next dude. It was just a bunch of garbage. There was really nothing. They showed this initial fuzzball, and we're like, I was taken back. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is what you're showing here. This is what they right here. And Jordan Crowder said, pathetic. How embarrassing that you're looking on the left at the first image from an amateur ground-based astronomer. And that's the detail that we got out of it. You could see the jets. You could see everything coming out of it. This crap on the right is what they gave us, NASA. I mean, this is a smack in the face. This is you people are stupid. We don't care what you think. That's what this is. Okay? Okay. So all of you were expecting, I'm not saying all of you, but I'm thinking of like all the sheep out there, the world. Everyone was expecting NASA was going to cough up these beautiful comet images. Well, they did not. Headbuster moment. They did not. They gave us this fuzzball crap on the right, which is nowhere near the quality that we've seen from a ton of other guys out here. Just because of this object, I've gotten to know and follow several different astronomy guys out here, and the Angry Astronaut and Dobsonian, then Rays. We're going to go through some of the stuff here. I wanted to start off with this, though. So you've seen the very first image. So when I'm listening to them talk about this, the guy's like, first off, let me just tackle this right out the gate. This is a comet. And it's like, okay. Like, you seem like super bothered by that. Like, go ahead. You know, it's like he kept repeating himself and stopping and trying to punctuate that this is a comet. Even though it's very weird and all this, it's a comet. It's, by all accounts, it looks and acts just, and no, it don't. No, it don't. That's when he was lying right at the gate. No, it don't. We've got a list of 12 hardcore anomalies that this thing has that are not associated with any comet ever. And I find it funny that you guys don't even want to talk about a single one of them. NASA came on and blew smoke today and threw out a handful of garbage images. And then said, oh, yeah, we may drop some more on our website and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But they messed up. For anyone that has an eye to see and that pays attention to these things, they messed up. And I'm gonna scroll up here to these other images that were all dropped, all right, and explain them. As they were talking, they said, we had a chance, the unique opportunity to track this interstellar object for the first time. And it's like it popped up beginning of October, and we've been tracking it ever since. Couldn't put the pictures out because of the government shutdown, but we were still going to work, pulling up the computers, observing this thing daily. Yeah, while everything was shut down, they're telling you the government shut down, they were still going to work. They observed this the entire time. The only thing that they were not capable of doing throughout this whole time is posting any kind of update, since they were sitting there in silence, which is very odd. Now that we know that they were there. And they were not capable of going over and posting an image to social media. 2 seconds. Well, is that overtime for you guys? Did you have to do that? Why? You were there watching it the whole time and stayed silent the whole time and then give us this garbage. But have the nerve to say you were watching it the whole time. So we were lied to. And given this trash. So let me show you what you're looking at here. First off, the image on the left is one of the best yet, if not the best. And this is from Ray's astronomy over here. This shows 5 key points, jets or objects around a central object. Now, I'm just going to jump right to the big thing here. The next 4 were released by NASA, starting with the fuzzball I showed you a second ago, then this one, the second one. What is super interesting about the second one is that this 5-star type of pattern, these 5 objects, which remote viewers said that there were 5 objects. They said there were 5 objects around this. For real. Hey, Cat's tagging me right before the show saying, Dapu, look, there were remote viewers seen 5 objects beforehand. And here, all of a sudden today, this thing's got 5 little objects around it. Well, when you go looking at NASA's super grainy and garbage image that they gave us, knowing what this looks like over here, a cleaned up version, the really good stuff from Ray, you can actually make it out. You can see it. You can actually see a 1, 2, 3, 4. You can make out a good 4 of the 5 points in the core. All right there in the image. And to me, this is the best match we've ever had. These are from, well, one's from the enemy, basically. This is from NASA. They thought, this pixelated, photon, what's the harm in it? Well, when other cats are out here getting highly detailed images, and we could actually pick up those images in your grainy crap, then you're busted and you suck bad. This is treason on the highest level, man. They all lie. It's all any of the agencies do is lie and cover stuff up. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing. It's pathetic. But this, I am happy to be able to announce that we've got a match from 2 different telescopes from 2 different perspectives. One from Earth, the other from an instrument in space. 2 total different angles on this thing, but showing you still the same detail. That to me, bombshell. That right there, that's what this thing is. When you have that's what you call confirmation. I've been sticking with hard data all the time. You got stupid trolls and shills that show up like, oh, you think it's a mothership. When never once in a video did I say that it was a mothership. People just make crap up out of their ass all the time. And that's just the way it is. That's the truth of it. Every day, all the time. And they may watch 20 other videos, then show up to like my video, and then regurgitate whatever crap in the comment section. It doesn't even pertain to me. They do it before they even had time to watch the video, which is pathetic. It's like, at least watch the video before you go running your We keep it clean tonight. Mouth. Um, but yeah, look at these other images. The third image was this fuzzball. Fourth was a Lasco image, which we thought would definitely show us something. But no, Lasco, a fuzzball. In the one on the right, this was just like, this is the hydrogen around Mars, and then in the atmosphere around it, and then compared to this object which we call Atlas here on the left, which really, I was like, you're wasting time on a composite like that. Is when we got to that one, that was it. Then they ended, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, where is the magnificent, high detailed imagery that we know you're sitting on? We know you are. So you're lying. When backyard astronomers are picking up and have been picking up way better images this whole time, like, they're smoked. But I don't know what else to say here. NASA, never a straight answer. What were you expecting? Pharmakia, huh? Their black magic and their spells, huh? We got a ringer though. We got a match right there. That to me is key with these two. So, I will continue to dive down this rabbit hole on this as we get more images, and so that you know, we're still moving closer to this thing. We're not at our closest approach to it till December 29th. It's the 19th, December 19th, I think it is. Meaning we're moving closer to this thing right now, even though it's moving away in perspective. We're swinging around toward it, closer till that date. You know, its close approach to the sun's called perihelion. It's just a close approach when it comes to a planet, but same thing. It's I don't know what else to say. I'm at a point to where I'm at a loss of words, because I mean, the officials, they straight up lied to us today. They lied to the whole world, and it's embarrassing on so many different levels, to our intelligence, to how they view us. They view us as stupid sheep that just will accept anything. And what's crazy was, during the live stream, there was callers calling in, and there was just a few in. A guy called in and was straight up about it. He was like, look, man, is there anything there? Let's just cut to the chase. I know it sounds conspiratorial, but I'm asking it anyway. Is this thing a UFO or have anything technological to it? And I swear to you, all they had to simply say was like, a direct answer. They fumbled and beat around the bush, and they were talking. They ended up talking about it. He deflected in a whole nother direction. None of them tackled the question. To answer it respectively, the way the guy asked. I checked out at that point. I was like, I can't handle no more. Like, they're done showing images, and like, they're just doing this. Like, I was pissed, and I'm gonna tell you right now, anyone that was skeptical about this thing and thought that at this moment in time you were going to see this amazing comet and they were going to say this, if you're not scratching your head, if you're not asking questions at this point, I don't even know what to say. I don't think I care about anything. This is the most mystical, mysterious object that has ever come through this neck of the woods, and today, dude, they flopped big time. And it's more than just an embarrassment. It's almost like, it's really almost throwing us the finger. It's really like an FU, because I showed you what backyard astronomers are capturing, and they showed you this fuzzball. The fuzzball had less detail than the one on the freaking screen, for crying out loud. Still, why would you do that? Why would you do that? They're like technically afraid to give us any detail on this, like what we saw in Ray's image. Um, it feels like they're just trying to wait till it scoots out of here for real, and you can't speed this thing up. It is what it is, just like a Muamua, and just like a Muamua, they're gonna wait till it's out of here before they say. There's gonna be all these crazy things we're gonna talk about this that are all real, that are all facts. All the craziness about it that's going to kick up. And they're going to be like, oh, I changed course and all this. Well, Muamua did too. And this thing did change course. It deviated a good little bit. Not no 30% like some were saying, but it shifted. And shifting just 5% of your course changes where you're going in space, man. Big time. So there's something huge with this thing. Let's not forget that this came from the small little patch of space. Like, look up at all them stars. And don't forget all the stars that are under the planet right now that you can't see. Like the whole vastness of space. One little tiny patch of sky is where the wow signal came from. That's where this thing came from. I don't even know what to say, man. I feel like the people right now on this plane running around have less intelligence. They don't even know what. Like it's I don't even know what to call it, man. I feel like some other animals I hear have a higher intelligence. They may not have the physical features, hands and arms to be able to do things that we do, but like ravens, very intelligent. All these other animals, I feel like they hold more intelligence than would even half the humans around me possess, or even trying to use. Man, it's very disappointing. But when you're fed lies all the time, what do you expect? That's why I'm not keen on so much the arguing over all these details. Everyone's going to have their opinion. It's until we can start to prove things and put things to rest ourselves, like hold experiments, launch space balloons up there with cameras, and do something, then we really can do nothing but speculate. You could say it's flat, it's a square, it's a rectangle, it's a whatever, it's a dome, it's a whatever. But like until somebody can prove it, everybody, it's speculation. Why hate each other over that? I mean, we got to get over this thing of hating over Pepsi, and you like Pepsi, I like Coke. Oh, you're a Democrat, I'm a Republican. Even though, all of us in the political realm, there's a lot of bad things they throw to one side. I don't know, man. Cover-ups, never a straight answer. Just don't know, man, when we're ever going to get... if this was the big show today, this could be it, man. And thank you, someone, for the coffees. Much love right back to you. Best way to support the show. I appreciate it to the fullest. Look, this is all about mental. Okay? The Kachina, very much so. It is blue. It's its natural color. You see all these different shots of different color. It looked green and this and that. Well, different filters are used on it, and for reasons. Because different filters bring out different details. It also lets you see how much of an element is there. Like we've said before, the cyanide. And the cyanide is what gives it its blue hue and its blue color. And what's so interesting about that is it's one of the main building blocks for life. And this thing skimmed within the atmosphere of Mars, spewing the building blocks of life. It's going to do the same thing with Jupiter. That in itself is spectacular. You have an object, whether it's a UFO or any kind of intelligence you can prove, You had it sent into the inner solar system, scraping within the atmospheres of two key planets within the solar system and dropping the seeds of life. That's special. Something came through seeding. We all the time, all the talk is, we're the only life. We're the only life. Something's wrong with this. How come they're not talking about that? How come NASA? It's not a secret. Not everybody's stupid. How come NASA didn't mention none of this or talk about the fascinating facts of that? Just a simple fact. That's not saying it's a UFO. It's not saying nothing. You can still stick to your it's a natural whatever. But you didn't even address it. But it's a fact, Jack. We know the composition. We know everything. We know all this. And we know, like I said, with cyanide being a main element for creating life, especially when it mixes with organic materials and starts to build amino acids. This is how the process works, man. Something to seed it. Life potentially all around Mars. And that should be huge. Elon should be talking about, none of them saying a word. This isn't conjecture or conspiracy theory. These are the facts, Jack. And they're silent. That is mind-blowing. That is crazy. We're supposed to be the only life and supposed to be the big significant thing. But yet this thing just came through dropping seeds all through the atmosphere, and they don't want to say a word about it. Yet we know. If you know what cyanide and all these different things can do, then you know they can't hide it from you if you have that knowledge. But if you're just dumbed down, you don't have this knowledge out there, then it's just over your head. And that's the way they like it. See more cannabis hemp. Much love. All right, so got 2 PayPal alerts there. Ready to church. Thank you. I don't know if it looks like a double. I don't know if it's got double notification or what there, but thank you very much. Let's go to try to keep an eye on the chat here. Oh yeah, they know more than what they lead us on to believe. They're full of lies and deception. I'm telling you, when I get to a point one day where I can pull this off, one of the main plans is to launch a balloon with cameras. It's something within our reach that we the people can do. We either do it or we don't. And I'm telling you, when we do it, you'll be glad everybody that was a part of it, be glad they were part of that project. Because we're going to catch something. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to speak it into existence. When we launch, our cameras catch. And they're going to catch some crazy. You watch. You watch. I know it, my soul. I already know what I've seen around the sun with my own eyes on a common everyday day. I know what's out there all over the place that people just are oblivious to. So, again, people running around this place that they literally are like zombies, like sheep. They're so dumbed down. And it's a slave planet, man. And we got everybody locked into this. You really can't go explore the planet looking for all the ancient mysteries because you're trapped in this paradigm. All right, man. Keep this thing rolling. Check in on earthquakes. Rapid earthquake swarm hits California. And a bunch hit basically in one day. The residents there, maybe some of you guys felt this. They describe the feeling as being hit by a truck. It's on the Central Coast. Reports coming in Tuesday afternoon, all centered in a 1-mile area around the Templeton and San Luis Obispo regions. I know it's going to be familiar to some of you out there. Much love, Uncommon. Thank you, brother. I've been seeing your clips, man. Keep it up. Keep fighting a good fight, my brother. You're one of the few out there that do it, and I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. You're just one of them cats I know that if I was closer to, I'd be chilling with. So The swarm began after a 4.1 earthquake erupted. I've been talking about this area and these little swarms, and also running off the coastline out here to the Juan de Fuca and connecting to the axial seamount. Now, the axial seamount is a massive underwater volcano that sits off the Juan de Fuca plate, right there, basically on it, which isn't good. And it's been seeing rumblings. And when you start to see there's a difference in it's this one right here. This is another one. Also, there was a decent mid-range quake that hit in Yellowstone here this past week. We're seeing volcanic activity, even eruptions around the planet. Some pretty good ones. Things to just keep an eye on. So yeah, much love, Crown Jewels, my brother. America's deadliest volcano. Okay, we got a lot of volcano stuff out there all around the place, but to be labeled the deadliest, America's deadliest, guess what? It enters this crazy phase because they're saying it's humming. And this isn't just like earthquakes going off. They say when this hum starts, this is magma on the move. This is lava underground. This is Mount Rainier, man. Look at that monster in the background there. That's a volcano. And when this bad boy goes west of it, everything west of it is in danger because they're saying that it's the top western half is rumbling, and they believe that's what's going to bust off, and all the lava and the lahars, which are the most deadly thing, they're going to come sweeping down the mountainside, through the valleys, right down, and they're going to follow the creeks, all the creeks, and in all the rivers. It's going to dump right down into that. It's going to steam up in the process, but these lahars are going to consume it all, and it's going to come like a freight train. It's going to happen at some point. And I'm going to tell you, I've always seen in my life that when in the crazy times, like I feel like we've entered them for sure here. There was going to be a volcanic eruption in this country in my lifetime, and I always had prayed to God that it came from the Pacific North. It came from the Pacific West. That's the only place it could come in this country. And I always feared that it was Yellowstone, and I'm like, man, we'll never survive that. Like, we'll never. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, you just never. You're not gonna outrun that when like the whole planet, the whole hemisphere is gonna be blanketed out if that goes, and like it'll be misery. I pray to God not to let it happen. We can handle. So we can handle volcanic eruptions to a degree. The whole hemisphere, not anything close. Like these cities, Olympia, due west of this, they could get wiped off the map from a normal volcano erupting because of proximity in the circumstance. But will it screw up the entire northern hemisphere? No. Parts of it, yeah, maybe if it's bad, super bad, but it's nothing compared to a super volcano, man. A super volcano is like 50 to 100 times more of an eruption and powerful, and it would blanket again the whole north. It would affect the whole world. What's crazy is super volcano goes off anywhere, Indonesia, it doesn't matter. It has the potential to affect everything the same way. So we don't never want to see that. In my opinion, it's good to see volcanic venting around the planet. It just kind of makes natural sense to me. Like it's natural flow of it. Like you want some venting it's the way it works, right? The way the whole thing where you're going to have some eruptions here and there. It's almost like the places that don't have an eruption for a long, long time, just like an earthquake. It doesn't happen for a long, long time. It builds up all the energy and you have a massive one. That's what we don't want. But, guys, just getting into this, we're fitting to dive into some really good stuff here tonight. Just getting cracking. Wait till I get into the Economist magazine cover and all this stuff, like in the Epstein stuff and all this. I'm gonna keep it pushing though. We've got heart attack risks halved in survivors taking tailored vitamin D doses. So this is critical. If you're looking for vitamins or supplements or anything to get your life on track or to cure an ailment, I promise you that the vitamin D is great. And just like, the other vitamins out there that you need. And people lack a lot of these vitamins, don't even realize it. Like B12 is a big one people lack and have to go in and get shots for or take B12 vitamins. D can be another one that people just don't have in their diet as much as they should. And, where you're going to get out in the sun and all these other things. Not too much of anything. Drinking too much water can kill you. It's all about moderation on anything here. Too much oxygen in your system kill you, right? So it's all about moderation. I know personally that vitamin D, C, B12, those things will boost the immune system. Elderberry is another great one to take, especially in the winter to fight off bugs. Little colds maybe coming on or something like that. The natural stuff. Let thy food be thy medicine. That's the real way anyway. And actually, all these pills have got these the broke down form of it, but the real power is in the raw fruit, the raw vegetable, in its raw form, just picked. All that energy that's in it, that's the magic, man. Never forget that. So, energy. Big time, regardless, right? You need energy yourself to function, and we need energy in daily life to do everything, just to get this broadcast out, for you guys to hear it. It all takes energy. And man, oh man, you guys have checked in big time and shown me your electric bills and bills all the way around. Let me show you what they're saying here now. It says an increasing number of American households are falling behind on utility bills because of everything going up and going up ahead of winter. The only plus that I can say to that is hopefully it's a mild winter. But past due balances owed to electric and gas utilities have climbed from $597 to $789 over the past 3 years. That's a 32% jump just in that little span of time. Yeah. They say that per their estimates here that nearly 1 in 20 households, it's about 14 million people, now have utility debt severe enough that it's been or will soon be sent to collections. So, after smoking them vegetables, Jay from the Ville, you got juicing? Hey, any of the healthy stuff, man. Healthy kick, man. It's all about that, man. I'm not here to bicker, argue what's best for this, and everyone's got their preferences. Some people are allergic to certain things, but it's whatever works for you, man. Makes you feel good and it keeps you going. And if you got something that works for you, share it. Yeah, that's all I can say. But going off grid is going to be key for some people. If you want to save in your utility bills, I'm telling you, you can go out there and at this rate, you can save big time, and it'll pay itself off within like 5 years at this rate. Yeah, Tesla Tech is really where we want to go, but like they're obviously not going to roll that out until the whole beast world is here. I foresee a world in the future of like the Jetsons, but it's behind a wall that the beast puts up that you can't get into to participate. It's a virtual wall. You can't enter any city. You can't participate in anything. You can't get on the internet. You can't buy. You can do nothing. unless you're a part of this. Sound familiar? We're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from it. By 2030, I don't know how we're not full blown there. We're just literally, it's a couple of key events away from this whole thing changing. So, the grid remains to be seen. Like, if they're going to overhaul it, we know it's going to come down at some point. Is the sun going to take it down? Are they going to pull the plug, or is the thing just going to rot in two because it's so old and they're not updating it? They've refused to do it. I don't know if you remember, right when Trump got in there, they passed one of these bills and they put on an infrastructure bill. Like all this for again, Americans are lazy and it's garbage at this point. They don't hold him accountable for nothing. Nothing with the infrastructure. Bridges are falling apart still. Roadways falling apart. Water in every single state and city is absolute trash. In the grid. It's just living on a prayer. Chinese come in and cripple. They said 5 or 6 key substations and the whole grid collapses. Like, oh, wow. Thanks for telling them. Like, they didn't already know this, but like, really? Just a handful is all they got to hit and it's over? Gee, that don't seem too hard to pin the tail on that donkey. Not when they got millions in here. I'm sick of it, man. It's a setup. Don't you ever forget it. The next 9/11's about to happen, and these corrupt son of a... they did it. And you know it. Make sure your grandkids know it. And your children, they all know it thoroughly. I don't care if they want to listen or not. Like, record the dang thing. Put it on tape. And then, like, you die, pass away, they pop it in. Get the message through to them then. I don't care what it takes at this point. People are going to learn, or they're going to learn the hard way. And some people just going to learn the hard way. Look. By now, you should know it comes down friends, family, it don't matter. This divide, it's a spiritual thing. Big time. And a lot of the people out there running amok don't have the spiritualness in them, like straight up. If they did, they'd be over here with us to some degree, some form, some fashion. But it's like the lawless, spiritual lawlessness. Do as thou will, as Aleister Crowley wants all the devils to go out and do. It's what they're wanting. That's what they're doing. There's rules to this game, though. Okay, it's not all evil. From here on out, I'm gonna start to explain to you some keys because I don't know how much time I got left. All right, so I'm just gonna start spilling stuff out here within the coming, however long it is and takes. Should take years. There's so much material here to go through, believe it or not. But it's time for people to understand the fabric of how this whole thing works. And everyone is wondering. There's certain keys out here they don't want you to know. And this is why I'm going to start here. I said this before, going live on Saturdays over on Rumble exclusively for a Sabbath stream. And all those keys will be divulged on those streams. Every bit of it. We're going to talk about all because it's all connected. And it's what the Most High wants me to do. He wants me to gather his people, or at least let everybody know out there the way out. And if they choose not to do it, you can never say no one ever came and warned you. And some of you don't even want to hear it because you don't want warned. You want to do as thou will. You just go on, push on, get out of here. In Jesus' name, I cast you out of here. All you demons, all you jinn. Unless you want to put in good work, right? We'll put you to work, right? Because you're actually, the jinn are here to bow down to us. That's right. That's what is written. Satan himself, Lucifer himself, did not like that. He kicked at him when he was drying in the clay. But what do you know about that? Because it was stripped from your Bible. And even if it was in there, most people wouldn't know anyway because they don't read it. They're not searching, man. Everyone's always looking for the easy way out, man. I commend those of you that go looking. I know reading things is not always the easiest. And I know when you tune into something like me, you can sit back and you can listen, and it's easier that way. But when you go to bed at night, man, look up some of these missing books and put an audio book on. Audiobook, audiobook, audiobook before you go to bed. Audiobook. I'm trying to stamp it in your brain. And just pick something. Books of Enoch, Jubilees, Giants. And just lay back and listen. And even if you fall asleep, your subconscious is still getting this. That's a beautiful thing with it. Okay? And you can start to get some of this knowledge that's missing. Okay? For people that don't like to physically read, because I know that that's a hindrance for some people that maybe even can't read that well. Okay, so it'll help. Counting the days, thank you. Having a personal relationship with Yeshua, Jesus, is key. You got that right. And I think another one, sevenfold, thank you. Said flock surveillance system and data mining of all of our movements. Cops showing up at people's doors because their vehicle was in the vicinity. Oh yeah, it's on. This is why you've got to use tactics. Okay, like for one, when I'm traveling, most of the time I've got strategic routes that we take, and I won't even go through certain states, certain cities, certain places that have certain surveillance. I won't do it. I won't do it. And if I have to, like we're on our P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying? Much love, John. Right back at you, man. I don't see some of you in the flesh. I see you on the other side, that's for sure. Randy again, thank you for that PayPal and refuse, resist. Thank you for the coffees. God bless. Right back to you. This try to keep it keep on trucking here. I've been falling behind. We're already an hour in. I look down, we're an hour in. I'm trying to keep it pushing, man. Lots to cover here. The whole energy thing, though, they're saying it's a national emergency. Okay, if you guys can't see, like something's gonna happen here. Like it's gonna hit extremes. I see poverty, big time poverty happening before anything's ever fixed. You know, the reset is not going to be a fun event. The way I see it. Okay? So, look at what they're doing. The government is going to buy and put out 10 nuclear reactors across the country. Okay? This is its own thing. This is its own story. Okay? 10 new ones. Okay? That's its own story. Now, here's another story. The Army announces steps on the Janus program for next generation nuclear energy. 9 installations considered for microreactor power plants. Just through the Janus program. There's nuke sites and mini nuke sites going up all over this place. Okay? Just thought you might want to know. Okay, they're going up all over. They're going up on universities even and everything else. These micro ones. They're digging down into the ground. All this has been approved and like they just bypass the people, guarantee you. Most of the people have not a clue till it's too late. Yeah. God wins in the end. You got that right, TNF. And thank you for that, man. My brother. Look at this. It doesn't end. Constellation gets a loan from the government. But it's not just any old loan, you know. They'll send you a $2,000 check, and then you have to pay taxes on it and everything else. But then what? What do they do for Constellation? They'll give them $1 billion loan. Insane. Why? To start 3 Mile Island back up. They do all this and waste all this time, all this energy, and all this infrastructure instead of just rolling out Tesla tech. Free energy, 0 point energy. You know, and if that's what they're about to set up, if they're about to set up that whole world right now, maybe that's what they're doing, cloaking it. that there's going to be a handoff time where they shut down once they have this other system built up. You remember me saying this. When they have this mostly built up, they can pull the plug on the rest of it that everyone's on, and they'll just leave you in the dark. I don't know why they wouldn't. Coming from an evil perspective there. Gina, thank you for the coffees. I appreciate it to the fullest. Thank you, and much love right back to you. So the government is to blame for the housing crisis. They're to blame for everything right now. You know, a lot of it comes back on Trump, and he's the president, and it's his administration, but it's all these people. He doesn't make all these decisions. He's not that badass at all. You know, all these other people are coming up with ideas and all this stuff and implementing them, and he plays his part, his role, right? Well, they've engineered this whole thing to where, especially with interest rates so high and just the economy, jobs wiped out, no one can afford a house. So, you know, BlackRock gets a lot of the flack on that, but that's just because they're coming behind and they're buying all the stuff up. But they're not the ones that initiated the issue. The problem, the government is. You see, a lot of the people in the government are also embedded within BlackRock. So it's in bed. They are in bed, literally. It's crazy. And when it comes to our economy, I've tried to put the warning signs out there as much as possible that for what I see coming. From what I see in 2026 this thing going into hyperdrive, if not the event happening. Like, all the signs are there that 2026 is going to be the year. And I'm about to show you some key reasons why I think that. One, let's just start here. Alarm bells are going off and they're getting louder each week. Okay. And it's becoming exceedingly clear the U.S. economy, it's entered a crisis mode. And it's very similar to what we went through in 2008 and into 2009. Right now, people are really starting to freak out. So when it comes to the parallels here between the Great Recession and like this next thing we're going to go through, they say here that when foreclosure filings started to spike prior to the global financial crisis in 2008, that was a major red flag. It was one of the big ones. Key indicator. It's happening again. In fact, during the month of October 2025, foreclosure filings were 19% higher than they were in October of 2024. In October alone, there were 36,000 foreclosure filings. This is nuts. Foreclosure activity has increased for the 8th consecutive month. Total mess. These are some of the flags, again, that went off before the 2008 crisis. For people that weren't affected by that, or maybe forgot about it or whatever, like, this is going to be worse than that. From what I can tell. They really are taking it that way. Thank you, Steely, for the coffees. Appreciate it. So let's jump to some of the big news today. NVIDIA. A lot of talk around this because this has to do with the chips in our future. These chips are used in everything. And if it was going to be made in Taiwan and they were going to control it, it was going to be a big issue. But now NVIDIA is here. The guy that runs it sat down with Elon Musk and there was a big old meeting. And they basically come out and said GPUs are sold out. And then NVIDIA soars. It spikes. Obviously, NVIDIA is going to be a huge key company from here on out. This isn't going to go away. It's just like Apple, Tesla, NVIDIA is key. It's going to be key for some time. Okay? Especially throughout like the next decade for sure. Now, let's jump over to Trump trying to switch everything with Obamacare here. And in the end, he's probably going to try to call it Trump Care or whatever if they get this thing shifted by the time he leaves out of here, out of office. This is what he says, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's a ruse, okay? The whole internet just hiccuped. You might want to check Down Detector. Skynet. Thanks for checking in. And hey, I've got stories on that. And it's been messing up. I'm jumping over there right now. Let's just pull it up real quick. Yes, you're right. AWS, Amazon Web Services, spike, Cloudflare, another spike. This ain't good. They tried. I haven't even got to the story. I'm going to get to the story here in just a second. An update on this, but if it takes down the stream, guys, we've got something going on. I highly suspect that this is all connected to taking everything down. Okay? They've had plenty of beta tests, plenty of all this crap up to this point. There's something more with this. All right, PlayStation's down, Spotify's down, Amazon itself down. Let's see what else. Xbox spiked. It doesn't. I'm looking for spikes. Yeah, I mean you can see these other T-Mobile, AT&T got like normal. It looks like a lot of the gaming here was hit. Call of Duty, EA, Apex. A lot of the gaming. It looks like Facebook looks fine. Google has a spike, which could affect us, YouTube or anything else here. Not all games, like League of Legends is fine. TikTok looks all right. I'm not sure. I've never heard of Arc Raiders. Maybe some of you have. I'm not sure. Amazon laying off 20,000 people tomorrow. 200 stores. Oh yeah, I've reported on that. Yeah, and thank you, Anthony. Yeah, it's they're wiping everything out, man. A wrecking ball. Here comes Miley Cyrus and a freaking wrecking ball, just wiping it all out, man. By design. So hey, if we lose the stream tonight, if any glitches happen from here, you guys know right here at this point in the stream, something's going down. It's a bookmark Down Detector, and thank you for the update. What I was saying here. He wants to fix Obamacare. I'm going to tell you what the scheme is just real quick. Okay. He's trying to play it to where they're going to send money out to all Americans. Because that's all the ploy is. He thinks he looks good if he's sending money out. Stimulus checks, $2,000 checks. He was just talking about here recently. This would be another check, a different check that the government's sending out to you. And they're going to send it to you so you have money to go and purchase your own insurance. And I'm going to tell you right here, something just shook me hard. As soon as I read it, it was like, dude, it's a trap. People aren't going to be able to afford it. It's not going to be enough. There's not going to be anything there. And if there is, if they do have plans open for Americans, well, then guess what that means? That means that these big, fat, think about it. There's no other way around it, actually. These big, fat, rich insurance companies are going to get your money anyway. Because you got to turn around and take it and give it to them. Doesn't matter if the government, it's ridiculous. If the government just pays for it, or if they're going to give you the money. If they give you the money, they can turn around and tax it again. All right, so instead of them just, it's a trap, man. Instead of them just fixing it like some universal health care stuff, like other countries got it and it works out. Some things should be like that, where like this government's way out of control. It's so big that and they print so much money and they're so scandalous. Like that's the one thing that like should be without a doubt is like the healthcare thing. Like everyone should be able to just go to a hospital and not worry about it anywhere and everywhere. But I could fix some of these things rather quickly. A lot of this is a ruse, though. It's made to fool the small-minded person out there. And that's really all they're counting on. And let me tell you this. And Willie, I don't know how to say your first name there. I can't make it out. But Willie, thank you for the shout out there in the chat. And you just brought up a very valid point. I tweeted out over on X a woman that was flipping out. She was one of many. But what she showed was that she was helping her mother for insurance. And they were in California. And they looked at the plan. She showed this on her phone. The plan right now in 2025, and this blows me away, still was $300 and some a month just for insurance. Okay? Now bear with me. Because I know everyone's out there got a number and they're thinking about their situation right now. But she clicked the button for 2026, the top of what they're going to be paying. And I kid you not, is $1,500 a month. You tell me, who in the world can pay that? None of us can pay that. You pay $250 every 2 weeks, Tina? $500 a month? Okay, and listen to the story I just said. I'm hearing them all over. I'm hearing it from friends, family, other people out there. I don't know how you're going to do it. How are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? How are you going to afford it? Dude, we're getting bankrupted by the government right in front of your face. Like, we should be revolting in the streets, man, protesting. If people are too chicken shit to do anything, man. Pisses me off. I'm willing to go out here and they can blow my head off. And I told you, I don't care. But everyone passed on it. Everyone's just so chicken shit. That's pathetic. Someone actually showed up, didn't care, was ready to ride, but like, it's crickets. There was no crowd. Everyone's too scared. It's pathetic. Comrade, much love. Thank you for that. Yeah. Some of us are willing to do whatever it takes out here and don't care at this point. There has to be, if you don't have the funding, if you don't have the money, you at least have to have the numbers and the people. And if you can't get either one, you're kind of screwed. It's pathetic. So, let's jump into the stocks. Let's jump into the market. The Trump family organization, Trump Mafia, took a huge loss today. Trump media stock crashed to an all-time low. It wiped out $5 billion. $5 billion. But not all was lost. Because not everything is what it seems. This brings me to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is completely trashed at this point. I done told you everything about Bitcoin. It's like anything else. You can make money in it if you know your ins and your outs. Get in, get out, buy the dip, sell the tip. But if you don't know anything about any of this stuff, you have no business even trying. Unless you just want to get in something and long hold. And if you get in something and long hold, then it's a long hold. You can't freak out when the price goes up and down, even drops below your buy-in point for a time before rebounding. You can't flip out about none of that. You got to say, okay, I bought it for a 5-10 year hold, and you just got to stick with that. If you want to do some trading, then do that with a separate stack. Know when to separate where to separate stuff. And the long holds have always traditionally been the ones taxed the least. Any day trading or anything like that would just get thrown in on taxes like as earned income, like a normal job, basically. So one report says this, but then when you dig into this, guess what we find out? Same Eric Trump that dropped Trump coin and Melania coin and dumped them on the masses. The same Eric Trump that said all U.S. crypto projects should be tax-free, and he predicted Q4 will be unbelievable for crypto, just dumped to holy hell his portfolios yesterday. Massively dumping his Bitcoin holdings, everything else. And when other people see this, it causes panic and FUD in the market. And Bitcoin, as soon as it slipped below 100, it slipped down to 95, then down to 90, and then it was below 90, it got to 88. If it keeps going down below that, I mean, this is a pullback. It's bound to happen, man. Some people live in a stupid fantasy. They think everything's just going to go up forever and ever and ever. But that's when they get you. That's when they get you. They pull the rug. The big dogs sell. Let this be a lesson. This is what's going to happen to the entire market. This is what's going to happen to the entire market. This is like a beta test, a pre-run. For those, again, that have the eyes to see. They pull the rug on this market, they're going to pull the rug on the global market and reset it. Okay? Get ready. And you would do something like this before that because the global market is bigger than this market. So this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good at all. For like, it really feels like these are guys that have been holding for years, man. Years and years and years. Do you understand this? Years. To sell now all of a sudden, those huge flags out. Huge flags. And also the same day that he was selling, his daddy, Mr. President, is over there dropping tweets saying that he's going to give permission for these alphabet gangs to go after Americans on foreign crypto exchanges. Ha! Your Gentile Messiah is now coming after your asses because the trap's been set, and I've warned you. Nobody's got the kahunas to even admit it. I will give some. There's some cats that showed up. I'm going to go back and I'm going to follow, actually, off my timeline. That they commented, they admit it. They're like, yeah, I voted for Trump and he screwed up. And one said, yeah, I backed Kash Patel and all this, but he hasn't done nothing. He's garbage. And they have the courage, the audacity to admit what they did, that they were wrong. They made a bad choice. They're regretting it and they're speaking the truth on it. Now, I got salutes for that all day. But for these cowards out here that voted for Trump and they can't hold him accountable for anything, to hell with you and all your products that you sell too. You make me sick. Hueva, all you fake patriots with your big old beards out there, acted like you were my friends and used this whole movement to sell your product too. Pathetic. Pathetic. You're a fucking patriot. You're disgusting. You're treasonous is what you are. You're a coward. Took an oath to protect this place against threats foreign and domestic. Would rather ham it up with MAGA and spend your days dropping tweets looking cool and pictures with Trump and all that. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And that right there is what's happened to all too many. Too many. Pisses me off. Shove your MAGA up your arse. And it's fracturing anyway, because we spoke it into existence and we'll keep doing it. People will wake up, and when they wake up, they'll see the truth. And there was way too many. There was like a whole quarter or a third of MAGA that broke loose now, going with MTG and the America First, America Only movement. True, that are not standing for pedos. And trust me, now that they've done it, a huge bunch have flocked to over there. And now that they've done it, it's going to serve as an outlet for anyone that didn't have. It's going to be like a life raft. It's going to be like for people that wanted to jump ship but were too scared, or for some people out there that voted for Trump, this was the first time they were ever a part of something in their life. They never made a cheerleading team or the football team or the choir or nothing, and this is the first time they felt a part of something like a gang or something, accepted, and they don't want to lose that. You see what I'm saying? And that's real. That's the truth. But now that they see the whole thing is getting torn down, they're looking for some life rafts out of here. And they see MTG's got one going over there. And I don't trust no politician. But hey, I'll tell you this. I almost set differences aside for a second. And I'm going to say, hey, you're actually standing for something. You're the one standing up and voicing against the pedos. Salutes. Because if you were doing it at this point, no one would do it. If MTG and like Massey, that's taking shots from Trump left and right since he called out this pedo stuff, if they didn't do it and put their neck on the line, I mean, nobody would do it. Too easy to keep your mouth shut and make millions. All the politicians are millionaires. All of them. Including MTG, Massey, all of them. Well, how's that? If they were really going to get attacked, they'd get hit in their bank account. You know how the thing goes. Then they'd get thrown in jail, and then they'd come for their life. That's the route that it goes. And if you don't see none of that getting attacked, well, then they're still playing the game in my book. I don't care how good it looks. They've got someone covering every avenue. These guys that's their job. Play the public, man. All right. Home Depot. Target. They're reporting soft demand. They're shutting things down like everyone is. Last show, Wendy's was shutting down all kinds of locations. Like, this country is folding right in front of your eyes. It's sad. And again, because nobody will get up and even join a protest or do anything. Some people are going to have to live with that. This is going to actually catch up to everyone. When their kids and their family turn around and be like, well, why didn't you do anything? You talked all the time about all this stuff. Why didn't you do anything? For all you that are sitting there doing nothing, you've got it coming. Because all the signs are there, and I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, what your position is. You could do something, say something. You could speak truth. You can always speak truth. And fight the good fight. It's a matter at this point if people want to hear it or not. It doesn't matter. Truth needs to be told and heard. TJ Maxx. It's the same thing. I could just keep going on and on. All these places, they're not going to exist in like 5 years. Like, none of them are even going to be around. It's going to be bread lines from like here to California. It's pathetic, man. It really is. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. I know that there's guys that gave their life to defend this country. They're like rolling over in their grave. Reminds me of the clip I played last week. That guy from the UK, that veteran. He was like, all my guys died for nothing. When you look at this country right now, they literally died for nothing. He was right. He's right. He's right. You see, if I would have said it, it just wouldn't have been felt the right way. But coming out of his mouth, people hearing it, ain't nothing you can say. But sit there and just shut up and feel it. The man was right. All of our forefathers, man, gave their lives for nothing. Because we're just under under tyranny right now. And the thing is, right now, no one will rise up. Bunch of chicken shits everywhere. Pathetic. Pathetic. I'm telling you, I'm not here chomping at the bit. And I've done told you. I don't know how many times I got to say it about getting out here and doing something. But still, I'll never get no emails about none this and that, get together. Shout out to Susie Q. Susie Q did hit me up and she's like, this is my militia buddies. And I went over and I followed them. You were the only person. I don't even know if you're here tonight, Susie Q. Much love to you and Joe. You were the only person that responded with anything, absolutely anything, of any militia in all this time. So it's just, again, nobody's doing anything. Pretty bad. I don't know. I don't know what to say. If you've got an idea, let me know. I will speak on it. I will throw it out there. Let folks know what's going down. I will attend one of these events if need be. And I tell you, it just keeps coming back up. If no one can do anything, I'm just going to have to pick a place and I'm just going to have to put together something and do it. 2026, here we come. Brazil's Banco Master collapses. When you start to see these banks, we've seen them in Canada, now Brazil, when you see them start to go down the tubes and investigations get opened up on like JP Morgan Chase like they are, that's when it's showtime. When the banks start to shutter and fall, that's when it's really going down. That's where your money's at, right? That's where you control your 401k through and everything else. Everything's tied to your bank, right? Well, dude, I've told you forever, man. I don't even want to hear it. I don't even know. Like, once this happens, it's going to be hard to go live. What am I supposed to say? I told you so. I only sat here for how many years and warned you? What am I supposed to say? Like, I told you so. Rub it in your face. I'm not going to. That ain't me. I am going to probably say, yeah, I told you, but I'm not going to rub it in your face. You have to find a way out of the situation at that point. And it's going to be rough because you would have lost everything. Because they sold everything in the market, which they're going to do. You think these guys are going to sit there and hold the stock till they die? No. They're going to sell it. They're going to sell a top and they're going to pocket it. And that leaves the small man holding the bag every time. There's no other way around it. That's how it works. Yeah, I mean, Elon just bought in, blow off top of Tesla here recently. Berkshire just stepped in off the sidelines in a couple places buying in. Those places I'd watch out for. In the meantime, wise men have been stacking gold and silver. I know a lot of you guys have. And a much love, a shout out to you guys. I appreciate it when you check in, send me an email, let me know you've made moves. Somebody recently said they bought about a decade ago. When I mentioned it, they've held the whole time. And they're way up. And they appreciate it. Well, much love. Those are the success stories that I love to hear right there. People just listen. China buying 10 times more gold than officially disclosed. You think they're hedging their bets? I'd say so. And they're not the only ones. This has been happening at a record pace for as long as I can remember now. And gold just continuing record highs. And it's going to stay that way. I see nothing stopping it. I don't see nothing stopping it. I see it swelling all the way through this reset. And in like probably 20 some thousand, maybe catching a footing once everything settles. Because it's going to be some hell. Okay. Now let's get into this outage. Cloudflare. This was the issue apparently this time. They're blaming Cloudflare. Last time this all went down, it was AWS. And they tried to say that it was whatever. We even speculated then. Because sometimes you just get a feel for these things. Like, man, it don't feel right. It don't feel like just a normal situation. Were they hacked or are they doing something? Well, then it happened again with AWS. And we're like, okay, now their official excuse isn't really checking out. Well, it's kind of the same thing here. They came out and said, we just had to stabilize our systems. Some things went down, but we fixed it and it won't happen again, blah, blah, blah. Well, it happened again. Apparently something's happening right now. We just seen it here within the past 10 minutes, 20 minutes. There's something happening again right now. Cloudflare, and they're blaming a database error. Okay, so you fixed that. You telling me it's a database error again tonight? Huh? I don't buy half this crap. It took down 20% of the web when it did that. Just imagine. Yeah, in Fort Knox, I ask the question all the time, where's the gold in Fort Knox? We're not going to get any answers to none of this until, like, again, we get out and we protest, like, the right way, like, shut down traffic, do what all these goons have been trying to do this whole time for George Soros, but do it the right way, to actually mean something, because we have that right, It's just everyday people never flex their rights. You either use them or lose them. Keep it pushing here, man. Where we at? All right. Senate approves a bill to release the Epstein files. So this, obviously a huge subject, huge thing. I don't think there's any gold in either, Mark, but who knows? Could be. I'm going to play a couple clips here of Comer. He's going off on Hakeem Jeffries here on the House floor for soliciting a meeting and donations from Jeffrey Epstein, even after, and that's the big thing here, after he was a convicted sex predator. That's what the catch point is for all these people. They're like, well, you did business. He's like, oh, why would blah, blah, blah. You're like, well, you did it after he was convicted. You knew he was convicted. And some people still try to go on and say that they didn't know he was convicted and this and that, but
colleagues' coordination with Epstein. Another email shows Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to an event or to meet privately with Hakeem Jeffries as part of their 2013 effort to win a majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we found in the last document batch. The files underscore why former President Trump must appear for his deposition. We've subpoenaed him. To date, the Democrats have done nothing to help us secure his appearance. I support full transparency. The Oversight Committee will continue to work to get the truth to the American people and to get justice for the victims. That's our goal of this investigation. With that, I yield back.
I'd love to step out on the floor and ask some questions right now. Mr. Comer, what do you think about Kash Patel lying under oath and committing treason, saying that no one was trafficked? Huh? That'd be golden. What's your answer? Can we get this guy for treason? Or trash? Can we? Can we take out the trash? Huh? Because he said that nothing happened. You just sat there yourself, Mr. Comer, and said that there's a bunch of victims. Victims? How come your thinking collides with Kash Patel's and the president's? It's all hoax. Huh? They don't seem to think that any victims exist. And Trump saying it's a hoax is a smack in the face of all the victims that are there, that have been on camera. Their names are out there, and they don't care that their names are out there. So they can't use that as an excuse to redact any of the stuff because they don't care. They're already getting hit by buses and picked off left and right anyway. Like, the safest place for them is actually together out in the open at this point. Okay, so let's shift it up. The Clintons, they dodge the deposition. And I told you about this, but this is bad. This is super bad. Not only did they just say, hey, we're not coming, but like they're completely stonewalling at this point. Completely. Both Hillary and Bill had different dates to go in. They set Hillary's for the 9th and Bill's for the 14th. And they delayed it. Well, now, as it says here, they're stonewalling entirely. Comer, that was just speaking, he has flagged Clinton as a prime suspect the entire time, with more than 20 flights on Lolita. And we already know it. Bill is on the freaking wall on a portrait, in a dress, in ruby red slippers. As soon as you walk in the door, again, some of the most damning evidence on all these guys. is already out there. Okay, it's just trying to stick it to them. So, do the Clintons get to just go on the run? They're Mr. President. Are you just, this is a joke. It's that Hillary for prison and all this. This is like a pathetic joke, a smack in your face. Ran a whole campaign on this, and these guys are sharing front and center of this Epstein stuff, and they still ain't got taken out. They're just skipping a deposition. If you chose to skip a deposition, they'd be kicking in your door tomorrow morning. Not the Clinton cartel. What now? They just, we're not coming in, just never have to answer. Never. And just till they're dead and gone. Like, just, who's going to bring down the gavel on them? Who's going to hold them responsible? Like, something has to happen. It's all, we're not going. It doesn't matter. Like, garbage. Again, if they would have done this, there'd been warrants put out on them in a righteous system. It would have been, if they didn't show up, looks like anyone else, like there's warrants put out on your ass. President or not, who are you trying to protect? You're talking about a president here that was already caught in the Oval Office doing sexual stuff. Do I have to remind everybody? Piece of work. Monica Lewinsky. Everybody's just, you're dealing with a mafia is what you're dealing with, man. You're trying to make sense of it. It's a mafia. All right. Case closed. Done. Easy enough. And mafias are nasty. They will cutthroat each other. They will throw each other under the bus to save the greater good of the upper echelon. And different factions war within, for power. They do. And it's the name of the game, man. As this one says, numerous members of Bill Clinton's administration were visitors at Epstein's Island. And they start dropping names. We're that close. Like, more and more big names are getting dropped. Just like, well, I'm going to get to, I'll mention him next. Al Gore. Well, there's the name. Larry Summers. That's who I was going to bring up next. Sandy Berger. So, when there was no names being mentioned, now all of a sudden some names are flying out. And Larry Summers, this dude smoked. He is on the run. He's in hiding. He resigns from OpenAI's board. Then he was supposed to be teaching at Harvard. All of a sudden they say his office appears to be gone. No more teaching. No more none of that. He broke his ties. And now he's fleeing over these revelations. Now, the revelations go that the emails show that he was talking to Epstein about trying to bang this CCP member's daughter. So this Chinese Communist Party's daughter, of all people, he's trying to hook up with and talking about what he should do to bag her and all this other stuff with Epstein. That's what they were talking about. Nowhere in it does she ever even say in the emails that she ever even had sexual relations with him. Never do you find anything any deeper than that. But it's enough dirt to run this dude into hiding and to collapse his whole empire. And all this was just talk of trying to get with a woman. Not no proof or evidence that he even did. Okay? So this is the scariest part for all of them, it. This is when Trump says, he said this on camera. He goes, there's people out there that may have had dinner with him and had business associations that just, they don't want this witch hunt coming after them just because they had business dealings with him. It had nothing to do with this pedophile crap, legitimately. And I can see that there's some people out there. There has to be. There's bound to be someone out there that he did business with that wasn't tied up in this. I can get that. But at this rate, that's going to be a smaller crowd than the guilty crowd, because that's all this dude did was deal in dirt. And pretty much everyone around him he had dirt on. And so, I don't know, man. The life of Jeffrey Epstein should be made a movie, man. If all the truth could ever be told of it, it would make for one of the craziest movies ever. Like, if all the real truth could come out, all the way down to how he was killed, like the whole nine, every bit of it, to everything he did, all these parties, the adrenochrome, the murders, all of it. Oh yeah, man, it'd be good, and you could just put so much truth in that video and just get it into the minds of the masses. Oh man, it'd be great. An idea for you. Who's gonna play? Who's gonna play Epstein? Well, here's one. Mark Epstein, the brother of Jeff Epstein. He says, and he's very adamant, that his brother had dirt on Donald Trump without a doubt. And I know he did. It's obvious at this point. I don't need to see. I've taken in so much evidence on this. It's just how I work and operate. When the gut starts to signal certain things, the gut's never wrong. So that's just where I'm at with this. And I just know by watching Trump's body language and everything else that he's guilty of sin. In these older clips where he's sitting there pointing at women and biting his lip, and he's a dirty dog, dude. He's a dirty dog. He's no different than a Prince Andrew, except he's the Don. He's the one running the show at this point in a different position. And it just blows my mind that the royal family strips the royal titles from Andrew. That's how guilty he is. He didn't have to go to court. Didn't even have to go to court. Has not even gone to court. And the royal family took a royal title from him. Dude, that is damning as it gets. That's as guilty as it gets. But Kash Patel doesn't think so. Dude, that dude, I'm telling you, I don't see how he keeps his job throughout this administration. But if he's doing what they want, then he'll keep it. It definitely ain't working for the people. They're working against the people. So, in the emails, we know that Epstein said he's got images and all this stuff, and it's probably video, of Trump compromised, just like anyone else. This is why they said the FBI came out and said that Trump was an asset. You know what that means, right? He was one of them, working for them. That if any porno pops up of Epstein Island or even Sacrifice or anything, and Trump's in it, the craziest of crazies, thinking to say, oh, he was our man. Truth be told, only reason we knew all this was because of Trump. That's why we're putting it out there. Yeah, dude, they are masters of deception. They've already played all these cards, and honestly, I thought they had to sweep under the rug. There was no reason to even bring it back out. To be honest, when Kash came and lied and Trump said they could have never brought this up again. It was Comer and Massey and Luna and a couple others that in MTG that really kept this thing alive, or it would have been buried. I will give them credit there for that. And look, there's morals for some people out here. Some people have children, and some people will not stand. There's a line in the sand. Like, you can go and do a bunch of your corrupt crap over here and your racketeering and pushing your drug, doing all this other stuff. But man, when you start to mess with children and like kidnapping, all that crosses the line for a lot of people. And because they sit there and they think, well, that could be mine. Mine could be my kid could be next. Like, I've got to make a stand for this, and like any parent will understand that. So there's heartless people out there that obviously don't care. The whole damn club's got to be heartless. Almost every single person in the club makes a sacrifice to be in it. It's how the game goes, and you make sacrifices throughout your time being in there. You have to pay your dues. If they show up one day and are like, you need to make a fresh sacrifice, and you refuse to do it, you get your card pulled, get thrown in jail like Harvey Weinstein, or like Bill Cosby did. And Bill Cosby's a good example, because you can make a fresh sacrifice while you're in trouble. Somehow have your family cough up some money, make a sacrifice, and then you're out of trouble. And that's exactly what happened to Bill Cosby. It could still happen to Harvey Weinstein. This is one big club. I mean, for crying out loud, Trump has already said he shook the shoulders when it comes to pardoning P. Diddy, who has got more charges stacking up on him now, coming out of the West Coast. All sexual, none to do with murder. The sacrifice, especially of children, and the extraction of adrenochrome. That right there would have to be put in a movie. People can, I'm telling you, the raw, the real. No one else does. Candace Owens doesn't talk about none of this crap. Like, none of them shills talk about none of this ever. They never will. Because that's what they're designed to do, keep you in a box. Over here, the subjects are interesting. It wouldn't work if they weren't. Again, people's small minds, so easy to keep in a box. Anyhow, you'll tell them by their fruits. Anyone out there, any of these people on social media getting mad airtime and millions of views every day, all the time. Dude, they're a shill. They're being pushed. Don't you have the capacity to be able to see that they're being promoted? That you're seeing them every day? Someone is putting them before your eyes? Shouldn't even have to call them a shill. You should be able to know this. You should be able to look at someone like me that fights the fight like I fight, swinging left and right every day. It don't gain no ground on any of the sites. Don't get seen by no one. Don't even get notifications. Right? Like, it gets frustrating sometimes. I'd be lying if I try to act like it didn't. I mean, but you can't let it get the best of you. You got to keep on trucking. Now look, I'm going to play a clip here of Stacey Plaskett. She's another person mentioned in this Epstein thing, and they're trying to hang all these people out to dry. I'm just looking at the situation and kind of weighing it for what it is with the information we got. Do these people know him a little bit better than what they're saying? Could be. But this woman, she had a specific position. She was a prosecutor in the Virgin Islands, and she knew of Epstein. And from her perspective, knowing him and knowing the tie and everything around it helped her in her job, which I understand that point. It's not to say, again, that every single person that was around Epstein was doing something bad, but she could have been. But again, this goes back to like innocent until proven guilty. And then also the whole vibe thing, body language thing, the whole everything thing on what she knows. I'm going to play this clip and you can just see what she's saying. They're trying to skewer her here, but really, again, I've seen more damning stuff on Clinton and Trump and them than I do these other people. So they better be coming with the goods if they're going to try to hang some other people out to dry or throw them under the bus. And that was another thing. In these emails, Epstein was right there in them saying we should give Trump enough rope to hang himself. Ironic, huh? That it all comes back that he hangs himself. It's almost like all that was done on purpose to when all this came out in the wash. That's how the mafia works. That's how you know it was them. That's their signature. Right there. Came full circle. Sure did. They made sure they found that email, and they made sure you all know that. Of that email, that tidbit of giving him enough rope to hang himself. Out of the millions of words said. They wanted you to know that.
I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information, and I was going to get information to get at the truth. Having
no
a
regrets.
friendship with him is not something that I would deem to have. And so I'm just looking forward. I'm moving forward. And I think that that's what we as American people should do, is move forward. If individuals are not involved in illegal activity, extending his criminal enterprise or his financial enterprise or all of those things, I think that we need to look at what people are doing moving forward.
Wait, let me just better understand that. What is that point? Because at the time he was a known sex offender and it had been detailed all the sexual abuse.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes, and as a prosecutor, you get information from people where you can.
Now that makes sense. Do you see how quick she was to try to gotcha? You know, like, wait, no, he was convicted. He was already convicted. Like, you know, that's their get you every time. Like, he was convicted. Like, convicted what?
I think that we need to look at what people are doing moving forward. Little enterprise or his financial enterprise or all of those things. I think that we need to look at what people are doing moving forward.
Wait, let me just better understand that. What is that point? Because at the time he was a known sex offender and it had been detailed all the sexual abuse.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes, and as a prosecutor, you get information from people where you can.
Now, again, she could be just as dirty as the rest of them. That's the easy one. But to play devil's advocate here, and from the other side, as a prosecutor, that is the truth. Someone like Epstein, no one other can. Yeah. If you could have a connection to kind of like peek in and see what's going on, sure. As a prosecutor, you'd want to know all these things. But the downside is something like this in the end, where they're trying to throw people under a bus. Apparently they don't care for you. They see, someone like her, she's dangerous. A prosecutor, this is someone gathering information. A prosecutor that prosecutes people for all kinds of crimes. So if there's a ton of crimes going on and she's suspecting it, I'll lend an ear to whatever this Epstein dude's saying. He knows everybody. Everybody's going to this island all the time. I'd like to know more. I mean, it's natural. And as a prosecutor, you're going to want to gather as much information as possible. She is right. Her body language was way calmer than Trump's. So let me tell you that. And here, Paulina Luna, I don't trust none of them. They've been putting her on a pedestal here, which could be very dangerous. She's like, it's just like AOC on the other side. You got to watch these fools, all these politicians. But she come in and she did this like mic drop thing in the floor. And it's like, man, they did this on purpose. They're doing all these things to get her attention. They want attention on her. They think she's working. The magic's working with her. And to be honest, it is. On a large portion.
For what purpose does the lady from Florida seek recognition?
I have a parliamentary inquiry.
The gentlelady from Florida will state her inquiry.
I was wondering if the Speaker of the House of Representatives can explain why leadership on both sides, both Democrat and Republican, are cutting back-end deals to cover up public corruption in the House of Representatives for both Republican and Democrat members of Congress.
The gentlelady has not stated a proper parliamentary inquiry.
Thank you very much, but I think the American people know what happened tonight.
I'm going to replay that.
Can explain why leadership on both sides, both Democrat and Republican, are cutting back-end deals to cover up public corruption in the House of Representatives for both Republican and Democrat members of Congress.
The gentlelady has not stated a proper parliamentary inquiry.
Thank you very much, but I think the American people know what happened tonight.
They instantly shut her down and says she did not state she did everything proper. She knew she was going to get shut down. They were going to do that because she knows how it flows. It's like a mic drop. She come in, she asked the question, she put it out there, put it on the record, and they did what they always do. He did that garbage. And she actually made them look foolish right there in doing that. But made them look foolish, but made her look good. Okay? Cory Booker, that they were just saying was connected to Epstein. He calls for Schumer's removal. You're starting to see both sides eat themselves alive, which I think is funny. This dude's a clown anyway. All these politicians, I trust none of them. It's time to get out of the left-right paradigm. If you're almost there, go ahead, take that step. You're almost across the finish line. You can do it. It's like heaven on the other side of that finish line when you're awakened and you can see it. But not at, I mean, at first you got to go through hell to get there, right? That's the whole name of the game. And that's where we're at. It's a rude awakening when you realize that all these people are playing you. They're playing a big game here. And a lot of these people are played. They're pawns themselves. They're used like robots themselves in the mix of all this. And I don't even think half of them realize the length of it. But Cory Booker is calling for the removal of Chuck Schumer, which he's old. He's about out of there anyway. But, this old guard, Pelosi, he's leaving. Like, it's all about to shift out. And a new guard is going to be in that you're going to see and have to deal with for like the next 20 years. It's just the way that it is. Yeah, that's what's happening. Well, I'll let him speak here on and let you see what he's saying here.
Chuck Schumer's generation, Nancy Pelosi's generation, John Lewis's generation, they have so much to be proud of. It is time, though, for new leadership. The other generations, X, Millennials, Z, it's time for us to step up. The stage is waiting for us to lead.
We have dynamic, young, new leaders.
Who are some of the top
Chris
names?
Murphy is a top leader. Cory Booker is a dynamic leader. Brian Schatz is a dynamic leader. I mean, Elizabeth Warren, someone whose ideology I appreciate. There are a lot of great talent.
So you can see they're trying to position Booker from the Democratic side to be part of the next generation. He's just going to be one of them guys that, if the Epstein files don't take him down, you can expect to see him for years ahead. Years ahead. You've got 6 Democrats. Mark Kelly, one of them, one of six here, that basically are saying that people should defy orders. I don't know what's up with the pundit over here, why they're saying you should copy and paste these links and they're not showing the video, not embedding it. Maybe Colin Lundberger doesn't know how to embed yet, but they're calling for people to defy Trump's order, and they're calling for a soft coup. They're openly calling for a soft coup. Okay, somebody's sitting in their room tonight, pissed off on the internet, and they tweet out something like somebody should go finish off Trump or something, right? And then the feds see it, it gets flagged, and like they're at their door the next morning, like, yeah, we're here because of your posts, your threats, and like they're gonna get in trouble, especially if they threaten the life of anyone. These guys are like, I mean, they're calling for an overthrow. If I called for this tonight, like, I'd be dead by sunrise or something, like, these guys go out there. Part of this is like a show. I feel like they're trying to get people riled up. But they're going to get away with it. Calling for a soft coup. Like, it's I don't know. There needs to be so much more detail behind all this stuff on what's going down. Corruption needs arrested. Let's just put it that way. That's true. But the left-right paradigm, what do we expect? The left to come and arrest the right? Or the right to come and arrest the left? Come on now. When you're on the same team, it's all a show, man. All a show. Sick of it. That's where I'm at with it. I've been around the block hundreds of thousands of times. Not just a time or two. Like, I've seen all this stuff so much. I know how it works. I know what it is, what they're doing, where they're going. The biggest problem has always been reaching enough people with the truth. They put a lid on me. Um, again, I should be reaching people. Like, we shouldn't be having things go down. Um, you need some soft coup academy. Let me I guess gotta get your last in where you can, huh? Let me keep it on a serious tip. Oh my gosh, it's 11. It's already past 11. Time flies. I try to race through this one. I'm gonna keep going. It's what we do here. Let's go to this whole thing about not just a race war, but a religious war that they're pushing here in this country. Now, don't you think it's odd that Trump and them sat back this whole time and they just allowed Mamdani? Everybody kind of sat back and let this Mamdani get into position. And they let it happen. They didn't see it for the threat that it was, or if it even was a threat, as they should have. Because it's coming with a whole different religious ideology that brings the banter of kill, of chop people's heads off. You see, we ain't preaching that here in Christianity. When Sharia law comes to your town and catches you for jaywalking and wants to chop your foot off, maybe then you'll care. But sitting on that ass, afraid to say anything. You better defend your base and get ready to do it. You're going to lose it. You're going to lose everything. Do you got young soldiers around you screaming and shouting to God? Anywhere around you? Do any of you? I know you don't. Because it's not to be found anywhere. I tell you all the time, there's no patriots. There's no militias. Nowhere. Susie Q is the only one that provided me with anything, with any links of anyone. The little militia group out of Pennsylvania doing their thing there. But, and I respect that all day. Salutes to that all day. Would love to even go check out their events because it's somebody doing something. But, I'm envisioning something large scale, bigger, like national. Like, we need a large group, a militia group that's national, like that's missing. Real patriots. It's gone. It's not there. Mac has sucked it up, chewed it up, spit it out. We got nothing under a dark Mac spell, and you know it. It's the truth. It's disgusting. Like I said, the fake patriots this whole time, just trying to sell product, use the movement, and all. That's all it's been. Like, that's treason. Like, dudes, back, man, where I come from, dudes catch lickings for something like that, boy. There's some wretched cats out here. There's some crooked cats. Okay, so now, with all I said, I am all for anyone that has, especially in America, if you have different ideology, religion, different things like that, cool. As long as you're peaceful. Right? Because when I look over here at the writing in the Talmud, it's calling to snatch up our children and smash their heads against the ground, to rape our women. What? If that was in my religious text, you'd done killed us. But that's what you believe in. Hate. It's the basis of your religion. Hate. And you got the nerve to say anything to us about anything. Okay? So they come in here and you've got Mayor Adams trying to warn everybody, like, New York better watch out. It's not going to be safe for Jews to come in here anymore. It's not going to be safe for Jews to come in New York. You better watch it. Okay? We'll see if they attack them. We'll see if that's the case. We'll see who gets attacked. Who not? If somebody, if someone wants to come here and be in peace, so be in peace, like we all are. Don't come threatening. None of us are. None of us have threatened anyone. Haven't done nothing. Right? But I ask you the question: do you have young men in this country prepared to defend this country right now on a daily? Because these guys are on a daily basis, mounting up on a daily basis, screaming praise to Jesus in the streets, chanting it anywhere. I bet you $20 you can't find anywhere. Large groups screaming it like they are Allah Akbar. We're screwed. Because this comes down to the people. Oh, I'll take that back. I'm not going to say we're screwed. This country's screwed. Some of you that want to change things and manifest a way out of this, you'll do so. Those that just sit there and do nothing, they're gonna manifest something and bring it to you. That's why I corrected myself. And more people need to do that, and I'm not ashamed. We all make mistakes. The words you speak are key. Everything. This is why, like, even in my life, like, you don't damn things. Say GD. Like, gee, damn it. And damn a situation. You're making it worse. You've been tricked into a lot of this, and these are the things that I'm going to try to unravel on Saturdays from here on out. All this is going to come melt away. You're going to see what's been hidden here. Anyhow, I have Muslim friends, people that I know in this life, I have people from all different kinds of backgrounds, man. That I've met in this life, and that's those people are not bad people. I know that there's good people from all walks of life, but I know, and you do too, and you just go look it up, find out really quick, that there are radical groups out there that are really extreme, that have violence as part of their life, and part they're throwing gays in other countries off rooftops. You're gonna tolerate that here, huh? Whether you're down, it's crazy because how the lines are divided here. Just seen the dude that was up there in Dearborn around all the riling up all the guys up there. I will say this though about that guy. He seemed to go up in there really, with it's all about your energy, right? He went in there with the energy of like to rile, and he got riled on. You go in any place, trying to rouse up any hood, any block, any place, country, or in the middle of the city. Like, you go and rile people up, you're gonna get rocks thrown at you, all that. And that's what happened in Dearborn with this guy that just got released on J6. I forget his name, but he even went out there and he took bacon and was smacking it against the Quran of the Quran is what he was doing, which is like taunting. That's not righteous neither. Going out and speaking righteous words of the Bible and preaching the word, that's one thing. But not going out and acting like a kid, a high schooler about it, and taunting. Taunting that's not the right energy, period. Taunting is not the right energy. And you have to learn this in life. If you go out there pressing, it's like I was trying to tell you on another show, the whole thing about the ideology of a monk. Well, they'll tell you, it's like, and it's true. It's like, and I used the example of a set of beads on a string, that if you push against those beads, you push. As the monk was showing, you push. As soon as you let go, there's snap back. It's the way the world is, and that you shouldn't go through life casting, I like this, I don't like this, and casting stones on everything. You should be neutral and not giving your precious energy up to all these things. Okay? And again, when you push on something, when you feed into something, and then you step back thinking, that's when it snaps back at you. Okay? It's like throwing fuel on the fire of something. You know that. Okay? And it also works the other way. It works both ways. To pull away from something. And I've experienced all these things. And I know full well. So you have an enemy, and like you can either engage with them or not. And every enemy's different. I could engage with the enemy, and it could get really hot. We go to war. And I have no problem doing that. But like sometimes you gotta take the calmer route and the higher road. And I had a problem with doing that for a long time. And like, because I'm just ready for war. Flat out, I'm ready to get to it. Let's do it. And sometimes, I don't know, you have to take the peaceful path, but I don't know, man. What I believe in is putting positiveness out there and full scale, but at the same time, you got to defend your life, right? Violence in other religions coming out, man. We're just gonna have to sit back and see what people do out there. Every group is different in this net, but once things begin, and like once the seed is planted, and thank you, E-Fits, for the PayPal. Car bombings, the terrorist stuff that you've seen. We've only, I don't know, since 9/11 been told that it was a Muslim terrorist that did all this, right? And then you're going to have these same religious factions and ideologies just moving right on in. And you don't think, and look to Ireland, look to the UK, look to all these countries where all these people came in and they did not assimilate. They did not assimilate, which means they didn't fit in. They didn't fit into our society and assimilate to the way our society is. Learn English and do all this other stuff. Adapt to our courts, our laws, not bring in a whole new way. Shariah, I'm telling you, people will find out the hard way. It'll be by the sword. People want to sit there and try to stand in front of a tank yelling peace, 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 thinking it's going to be their Tiananmen Square moment and the thing's going to stop and they're going to get ran over. So this brings me to what's on the screen finally. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas designates the Muslim Brotherhood and CAIR as foreign terrorist and transnational criminal organizations. Bans them from buying or acquiring any land in Texas. And you watch. The same moves are going to be made. They're already set up shop there. This means they're going to have to be kicked out. Those that already set it up, just like the Chinese. This should be done with the Chinese. Same thing. Same thing. Some states have taken those moves, made those moves, but others have not. Okay? So this is a big one. I was just reporting on all the mosques, all what's happening with Texas. Well, here you go. Very next show. This is what's happened. So again, it's like nothing but love for all my brothers and sisters of all backgrounds, all religions, all faiths. But you got to become an equal and with peace. Extremist factions out there that just want to kill the infidel or the gringo or whatever it is. Nah, ain't having your crap. Why should we sit here and tolerate any hate toward us for 1 second? When you all sit there all the time like a hawk watching us, just waiting, trying to do something for us, when we don't never say nothing like that. We'll never say, everybody grab your pitchforks and nope. Maybe you've been trying to entice everybody to do that, but like, we don't need to bring pitchforks. We can just show up in our numbers. And I will say that that's a problem. Like, we have to flex our numbers. We have to get out and be active. We have to be seen. We have to let others see that you're free to do this. You use it or you lose it. That's what I'm constantly reminded, a little voice in my head, to tell you. So, you see the situation in Dearborn. You see the situation in New York. And look, nothing but love for all my Muslim brothers and sisters, period. And for, like I said, any religion. Okay? But if there's a faction or a piece of the pie or anyone that wants to try to force their way upon and not respect ours, well, then that's it. That's crossing the line. Like you expect us to respect you, but you won't respect us. I don't think so. Okay, so we'll see here. But again, there's good people of all groups and colors out there. That's where we can't get lost in all this. And start like turning against like full groups. That's what they want. The real answer would be to come together. That's what they would despise. That's what they would hate. It's if we were to actually go out there and talk to some Muslim groups and get together with them and get to peace and start to grow and have this big unification and make this huge thing, a huge pact that this needs to happen anyway, of peace and love between groups. And anyone else that wants to be extreme out there on any other front, they can go do the thing that they'll be labeled what he's labeling them now. And they'll be hunted as such. And they're chomping at the bit to do that to us in any way they can. Right-wing extremists, neo-Nazi, Christian nationalist, as I said before, they're trying anything they can to put a label on you. And again, as everyone's sitting back watching them put labels on even Antifa, domestic terror organizations, and they're like okay with it. Just remember, when they give you Imam Donnie as president next, don't even dare say they can't and they won't, because they just they will and they can. They give you Newsom, whoever it is. They give you Biden very easily. The establishment turn around and give you the left leadership again because they're so pissed off about a destroyed economy that Trump ran everybody through in the end, and whatever it is, they could do it. And if they get the left in there, guess what? Every single person that voted for Trump, or it's not even that, it's every patriot, period, every person not left-leaning, not bowing down to the government, you will be the hunted. And the laws are already on the books. And you can be like, how could this be? Honey, how could this be? We voted for Trump and we're real patriots. Like, how? No. How could it be? It's because you sat there docile while they pushed tyrannical laws that could easily be flipped against you, and you were too blind to see it. They're putting labels on all these left groups, and you're cheering it on. As soon as the tables turn, they're coming for your ass. Easy. And it's the laws on the books, man. Executive orders and everything else. Same for the homeless. Trump, when everybody's out of a job and has nowhere to live or go, just the SOB and put it on the books for you to be rounded up. We're sleeping. This place is getting turned inside out, man. And like it's all here. They brought it here again. Like he sat back and watched the Mondani pot. Like it's like they acted like they didn't see him walk in or coming in or anything like that. Like no attempt to stop anything. Now they're like, oh, it's all hell. It's all hell. Well, like you guys did nothing to stop it. Here's another one in Texas, real quick. A Clinton era judge ordered the public schools in North Texas to remove the 10 Commandments from display. So yeah, Houston, you got a problem. At least Abbott made the move that he just made there because we were talking about the mosque set up, and it was going to be a stronghold, just like they were going to do this everywhere. Well, like he made that move to counter that. But you can see already moves are being made right here, taking the 10 Commandments out. Ain't got no problem bringing all them in, right? All over the place. Mosques going up and all this other stuff when he yanked the 10 Commandments out. Like, got no problem with putting a statue of Jesus in or a statue of Satan in your town hall, whatever, circuit court, whatever it is, your main display downtown, the courthouse. Somebody dare want to put up a Jesus display for Christmas, a manger display, you have a fit. So George Soros caught again for like the 2000th time. It's pathetic. Again, it's a mafia. He's caught sending funding to groups that are known to try to crush conservative media. Even if you don't want to play the left-right paradigm, they're going to put us on the conservative side of things. If we're not on their side, you're on the other side, and so they forked up a lot of money to stifle, real truth out here on these things. The Gates Foundation also been tied into this, but they did cut ties. So this Arabella that was behind all this, because this all got brought out in the spotlight. They were busted. Like, the whole world seen the gigs up, all these NGOs. The only thing that doesn't make any sense is why they haven't been arrested. Even Trump came out and says, yeah, I think we got RICO on Soros. Well, yeah, he lives in New York. Go get him, partner. Sending ICE and your strike teams all over the place. And you already went after Comey and Bolton and all these other clowns. Like, why haven't you gone after him? Because he's a big money player at the top, Soros, no doubt. And he's been fueling this for years. BLM, current No Kings crap. And his son, his little protege, is just going to pick up the ball and keep running with it. All the agendas. He's as evil. He's tied into this as it comes, man. So Soros could, he's old. He could check out any time, but the agenda and the whole thing under the Soros name will continue on through his freaking son. Until this corruption, that's treason. That's jail time treason right there, what you've done to the country. Infiltrating and paying for infiltrators, and then going around and buying and paying for its own people to cause chaos. It all, by definition, is treasonous. And he's helped sow it year after year after year. This piece of garbage. So, let me jump to the Economist magazine. A little bit of an idea of where we're heading here, right? The world ahead in 2026. This is an interesting one. And I did a little bit of looking up here tonight, and there's some things here that just, I'm telling you now, there's a reason why we do these things. Pay attention to this one, right? Because the Economist, long known for being the tool of the elite, especially Rothschilds, which has been tied into this since its inception, even though they recently talked about selling a piece of it. But they use this to telegraph all the time what's going to happen in the year ahead. And every time it's called the world ahead. Last time it was the world ahead 2025. And it was a circular thing. It had an eye on it. Had a couple different faces. And we talked about it. It had a few different things on it that pertain to 2025. This one, my gosh, it is loaded. But it's got a couple clear things. I covered this in a video. Comrade, much love. But here we go. First off, let me say what we're looking at. You're looking at a soccer ball, if you could even tell. See the guy down here in the bottom right? He's the lowest thing on the screen, lower than the satellite. And these are sigil. This is sigil magic that they're using here. They're telegraphing to you what is going to happen. This has happened so many times in the past. They do this all the time in movies, and you guys already know this. But this is the newest. And they're known for this. So pay attention to detail, okay? Out of nowhere, this whole thing is based on a guy kicking a soccer ball. Okay. Let me just stop right there before we even get started. A guy kicking a soccer ball. World Cup, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I should just go look. Where is the World Cup going to be held in 2026? Seattle, Washington. Are you kidding me? Well, hold on. Let me pause this. Let me come back to the whole picture, because this is important. What does this say? Trump threatens to cancel the World Cup in Seattle after the election of a communist mayor. The same thing. The same exact thing. If you don't know, Katie Wilson, she is the one that's just stepped in to take over in Seattle, and she is of the communist mindset of the same team and mindset of AOC, this Mamdani, of Newsom, of all of them. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, this is what jumped at the. How is this even possible? I'll tell you, synchronicities run me and rule my life, man. Like it ties in right with what I was just saying with everything about, again, Mamdani, the whole Muslim thing, through and through the whole communist thing, more than anything, socialist push. This is going to happen in her city. If there was ever a false flag city, it's NYC. If there's ever any city that's ever been telegraphed to be destroyed more than any, whether by aliens to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, it is NYC. It's going to happen. On the West Coast, Seattle seems to be the conclave. It seems to be the spot. This is where they're setting up shop big time. I mean, Portland, you already know. They've got their strongholds over here, but this is big. This position's big. You know, so these mayor positions in big cities are being taken over. And again, you did nothing to stop this. Trump, the other side, you did nothing. You weren't primarying this person like you threatened to do Massey and all these other people that were just wanting to expose pedos. You were willing to spend money to primary guys that were willing to expose pedos, but not the real opposition. Doesn't make any sense. So, the World Cup is going to be in freaking Seattle. Let's go back to the ominous picture then. All right, so this sets the tone in the mood for where we're at here. Right at the gate, the very first thing, not good. Not good vibes. Just not. Don't even really have to say anything about it. Just showed you. Just not good take. Jay from the Ville, member of the Underground, 13 months, man. Much love. Thank you for sharing the coffee link. And I'm just running with it tonight, guys. Man, I guess I'm going to top the hour. I cut it off at midnight. I keep my 3 hours or less. So let's dive in. The last little chunk here. Because this is interesting. This makes me think the World Cup's going to get attacked. One of a couple things is about to happen. per what this image is telling us. First off, let me point out that around the whole thing, you'll find a repeated theme of pills all over the place, which may be related to the Ozempic stuff it says up here in the title, because it says the world ahead, geopolitical drift, opportunities for China, after Gaza, outlook for the Middle East, beyond Ukraine, Russia's next moves, the global economy is a crisis brewing. That is the biggest thing I'm going to tell you right now, right? Sporting values, political football, weight loss drugs, the next generation. So those are the key words tapped in there. So Ozempic gets brought up. All these little pills. Some look like capsules. The others look like little Percocet pills, like type pills, like pills. So capsules and pills all over the place. Then you have drones all over the place. And you've got drones like Predator drones that shoot missiles, like the one here up here. And then you've got drones all the way around that are on tether. Okay. Then you have satellites that are also all the way around, as well as tanks, robots, and robot dogs. Okay. Now, the tanks stand out pretty big. Two big red tanks. Red tanks. China, Russia. And you can see Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, and Netanyahu all standing together over here. Over here, Trump. Modi, I believe this is Meloni from Italy, and Zelensky. And the big tanks. It's like this tank is about to run him over. This is signifying to me this is coming to an end, more than likely. Or like Russia is making a huge move, like on the whole Ukraine thing. And again, tanks on the horizon. A guy over here shooting stuff. I'm gonna work my way around and come to the middle last, because the middle is the biggest. The middle is the biggest. Okay, so I'm just gonna save it the best for last and go down here, back to the bottom, and point out some things. It looks like a runner, fighters, a javelin, a skier. Do we have an Olympics setting? Well, let me go look up when is the next Olympics and where. 2026. Italy. Milan. There's actually Olympics popping off. So I've got two events on my radar all of a sudden. I've got the Olympics and I've got the World Cup or soccer events, period. It may not even be the big game. It may be events, shootings, or something happens in the stadium leading up to it. I'm having crazy visions on this. I do not like the two big syringes on the screen. One bit. I'm not even going to speculate or go. You already know. Worst nightmare comes with those things. The real lockdowns, all that. The real pandemic. When the real deal hits. I don't like those two things more so than like anything, because I know what it means. If that goes into motion in 2026, it's over. It's over. Okay, so missiles are everywhere. Red wine being spilled. Robots everywhere. I mean, there's all kinds. There's like a Tesla bot. There's like a different bot. There's a different bot. There's robots carrying guns. There's little robot things carrying bombs. A little red vial that I don't know what it is. It could be an antidote to something. Okay? Now, let's get... This is the key interpretation out of the whole thing. So pay attention on this one. This is big. Do I take it out of the stealth mode? Thank you for the coffee. Thank you so much. Well, we have a birthday cake. And it says 250. Now, what does that mean? Let me go looking again. It just so happens 2026 is the 250th birthday on the 4th of July for America. Pretty ominous that the hand and the flag here have got a cuff around it. Pretty tyrannical. With this police state getting rolled out, and it's cuffed to the cake. 7 red balloons all the way around, with 5 of them around the top. 1 by Xi Jinping and another one down on the bottom, down here. I also forgot to mention you've got some Hebrew dudes over here in a boat. Looks like they're pulling off a ritual. Here's where it gets crazy. And this is the warning of warnings. If you've been following me, I've warned you about an upcoming event that I foresee, and I do it every stream. I tell you what's coming in 2026. By April, May, a new Fed's going to be in there. Trump's here for the Great Reset. And the Mar-a-Lago Accord will be rolled out. You've heard me say it time and time again, over and over. Some people, it goes in one ear and out the other, over their head. It just don't stick or something. I don't get it. But I've told you over and over what's about to happen. They're about to reset this place. The whole thing. So, what is Trump pointing at? He is pointing at 2 swords, and X marks the spot. 2 swords. Over what? An economic graph that's going downhill. And what do we got? We got Old Man Lincoln, the pennies, the ones that just got removed, going down, getting flipped upside down. This is what I see. This is what's on the screen. Trump's pointing in it like it's significant. It reminds me of him going on camera and saying, I was brought in to do this, to reset everything. He is pointing at it. It is the most significant thing. It is the reset. Okay? And let me take it just a step further. Just a step further. Just to drive it home for you. Drop the gavel on it. There is literally a gavel for judgment right underneath of it. And the gavel's coming down, splitting it, coming down hard. And what's right below it? A tattered and decrepit dollar sign. With blank money notes all over the place. Blank. That is your Rothschild Economist magazine giving you a central warning of what's about to happen in 2026. And without a doubt, I believe it. I believe a huge thing's going to come between the Ukraine situation I believe one of these or multiple of these events are going to be attacked, and you can write them down. You can remember tonight we covered this. And when people want to claim credit for the stuff that we do, like I do these streams, man, for a reason. It's all out there on record for history that we cover these things. So when people want to cherry pick and steal the things that we've covered later down the road when they come true and act like they all figured out, nah. It's happened to me for years. I'm sick of it. This is one you punk. You ain't getting away with. This is coming, and we've known it. And this is the icing on the cake. I hate that. No pun intended, really. But it is. So let me finish with this, because this could be the most ominous. Outside of the economic crash, we got a satellite blasting, and look at everything kicked up on the ground, blasting. So this is a weapon, a space weapon being used against a container ship. A container ship that has a black flag. And the container ship's not a container ship. It's actually got guns. And it's popping off a shot. And what's the shot going right at? America. 250. Out of nowhere, a surprise shot is taken at America, the 250 birthday. Right there in front of your face. And they smoke it, they hit it from the air. They take it out from satellite, which they'll show. Oh, what have they been doing lately? Just smoking boats in the Caribbean left and right, showing it off. They'll smoke this and show it off. What's it gonna really? Where's it gonna hit? What's it gonna do? Where's it gonna hit? Is it gonna be the linchpin to bring down all the economic stuff? I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't have the crystal ball. But what we do have is an Economist magazine cover here that they put together with sigils and signs. And that is a freaking wild one. To have that much packed in there to decipher, to be that on point. Oh, and let me finish with this. Let me just finish with this. Oh my God, Spiro. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, Spiro. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was it. That was a synchronicity. I was about to spit it out of my mouth, and I looked down and he said it. UFC White House event. That's it. Before I could even get it out. It was right there and you knew it. I even said one more thing before I saw it. And this is it. What happens on 250? The UFC White House event. And guess what you got down here? You even got 2 fighters. You better watch soccer events, the White House event. You better watch anything from here. We're going to get attacked. Major, if not multiple events. Part of the magic is they have to tell you what they're going to do. And not all these tools, not all this magic is bad. It's how you use it. It's basically like science. Say somebody give you a laser weapon, it's how you're going to go about in society using that laser weapon. You can do good or bad with it. That's how this magic is. Okay, and a lot of it's not really magic. It's just science that was kept hidden from you. You could have actually been taught this in middle school and lived a whole different life. You could have been manifesting things in this life and had a whole different trajectory of everything. Understanding of everything. Knowledge is key, but they failed to teach you any of this. This is the stuff that I look to unload onto you here shortly, because that's all that's left. And you need to know the truth. You need to get it in before it's checkout time and be able to exercise some of these things, your abilities, instead of it being a secret. And if they want to come kill me for it, come kill me. As I told you before, I don't care. Like, I pray to the Lord when I go, make it quick and easy. And then that was just the prayers were answered. Quick and easy, no suffering. I ain't checking out like no bitch. And I expect some of you out there got to feel the same way. Something higher is watching. I do everything I can to appease, to please, to do the right thing, to fight the fight. right? And like the last thing left is that lay the life down. I'm not afraid to die. I don't want to die. But when you drop the fear, it opens a new door. Okay? And I can't help but think that it's going to take that epiphany moment for like the whole nation to drop the fear and step through that door before anything ever happens. If not, they're smoked. We're smoked. Ain't nobody coming to the rescue. I'm gonna run out of time again here tonight, man. With less than 10 minutes, I ain't gonna get nowhere near the back half of all this, but oh well. I'll just continue on here with some thoughts. That's what counts, really. And I'm gonna double back this. I'm gonna skim over. So I told you here the threats that are all around here. A basic summary there of what they just telegraphed. Here's a bizarre one. A Michigan man named J.D. Vance gets sentenced to 2 years in federal prison for threatening to assassinate Trump and J.D. Vance. Crazy. This James Donald Vance Jr., 67-year-old Michigan man, dropped these threats. Just nuts. These connections, man. I don't have time to play these videos, but Charlie Kirk's former head of security tried to go on this Ryan whatever, this former CIA contractor dude, I've played him before, on his show, and tried to like save face on the hand signal thing. And dude, they suck. They all suck so bad. They're guilty. He even actually, the things that he said, actually, it made him look even guiltier. You ask me. And the way they fumble around, body language is key and all this stuff. And they suck at it. These guys really do. Not even Trump, as good as he is at acting and doing everything he is, you're talking about probably the biggest thing out there that could take him down. He couldn't keep us cool. He hasn't handled it well at all. He's buckled under pressure every time. Pat, thank you for the coffee and the love. Britain, their speech gulag exposed. And check it out. Much love. By the time I always get to this, I feel like all my UK cats are already asleep because it's so late over there. Yeah, I know, Sparrow. That's crazy. But my cats in the UK are under attack. The free speech, the whole thing. 10,000 people were arrested last year for social media posts. I got guys that I follow that like or do memes, and they share funny ones, like post something that'll get you arrested in the UK. And like, I get thinking about it, I'm like, man, it's not even like, it's not funny. Like, it's funny because they're memes, but like, I go deep on stuff, man. Like, but it's not funny. Like, they're under attack. The whole digital ID thing, you can't even share a freaking meme. You're getting thrown in jail. Like, where are my people at, man? Like, I don't get it. Don't tell me you're out there mobbing, rallying behind a shill Tommy Robinson, fake name, okay? Like, the people got to come together of anywhere and everywhere. Not only do we have a problem here, but they got it in the UK. We got it everywhere. You got to admit it. You got to do something about it. Like I said, I'm prepared to die. Like, until I see some other people stepping up saying the same thing, it's just a bunch of cowards around me, man. I thought people took an oath to serve and protect this place. I don't care when you were 18, if it was 30, 40, 50 years ago. You serve this country, right? Against threats foreign and domestic. Well, we got a bunch of domestic threats right now. And I see a bunch of chicken shits everywhere. I see no one wanting to step up and ride on them. Go get the corruption. Huh? And you know it. So keep hoping and praying A-Team's going to roll out of the bushes and save the day. Ain't happening. As I said earlier, all the patriots that I've known throughout all these years have been a disappointment, have become sellouts, selling product. It ain't nothing but that. Man. we've been done in. In the meantime, all the world's rich elite are gathering. Trump's hosting Mr. Chop Your Head Off, Salman bin Laden in the White House, striking deals up like it's nothing. So you think he's going to say anything to Mom Die or anything on this Muslim front that's like that when he's over here striking huge deals with Mr. Chop Their Heads Off? Don't even get me started on this, dude. The atrocities, the human rights violations, and everything that happen, and you've got Elon, all them just surrounding them. Like, dude, this is a world team, a global team. Truly, they all bow down to the fallen. So Trump named Saudi Arabia a major non-NATO ally. And this is huge. Selling them weapons. It's a huge move. And they had to do something to kind of solidify the friendship because the whole oil thing's about to go out the window. The whole World Economic Forum thing, the lady said, we're phasing out all fossil fuels. They're shifting away from an oil-based world and society where they don't need it. They have the technology and all this to do something different. Anti-gravitics, all that stuff, it's here. And they're going to roll it out. They didn't give it away. When? I don't know. But it definitely won't be until they've smashed us. Till they come kill me and all the other real patriots out there. All the other real bloods. Till they annihilate us and wipe us out. It ain't done. Long as one of us is here, well, we don't die anyway. We multiply. We will from here. You watch. I'm going to speak it into existence. A seed will be sparked. Explosive. Let it be in the young generation. Let it be from the ones you say are lazy and on the couch in the mom's basement and can't get a house now. Let it be Gen Z. Let it be Gen Alpha. Let them all spark. Rise against the beast. Because if they don't, they, like all the rest, will succumb to it. I pray the Most High comes back and touches down, as it's written, splits the Mount of Olives when he touches down. The earth shakes with the greatest shake it's ever known. When this happens, it's written, and I believe. And I want to see it in the flesh before checkout. That's why I came in here, for the big show. Do you got your ticket out of here? That's the question. Because many won't make it. Get regurgitated and sent right back on in. I don't know. This place served as a soul trap for so long, but then judgment comes in the end. And it's over. For this cycle. You either earned your way up to an upper echelon life, or you failed to do so. All you had to do is walk righteous. This place was designed to test you and to tempt you every step of the way. We know that now. It's not like it's a secret. They tried to keep it a secret out of the Bible, but like we found it. You know, all these books that were hidden have the rest of the puzzle pieces in them. And when you put them all together, you can see what's happened here. This whole place was like initially seeded with a different life, a higher intelligence. The fallen were here. All the angels. And I keep coming back to this. It keeps coming back to this, I guess, for a reason. And you need to go read or look into Genesis B. It is the account of Genesis through the eyes of Lucifer. And you're going to be like, what? If you want to be one of the people that gets scared of something I just said, like, dude, that's pathetic. Scared of your own shadow. You'll lack knowledge forever and you'll never figure this thing out. You're scared of everything. You say, oh, Kabbalah is evil. Look, there's aspects of certain things that are used for evil. in all this, but it can be used for good too. Okay? And just to call something evil because you don't know it or understand it is ridiculous. And that's what's largely kept a lot of people from getting close to the truth and finding the way out. The way out is in. The way out is raising your vibration truly and walking a righteous life and showing something higher that you did it. You can't fake it. You can't fake raising your frequency. It's actually pretty simple. Okay? Break this down like a caveman, spoon feed it to you. Okay? A higher intelligence is watching everything here that they made. Every little tree, butterfly, you and me. Sure are. You're not out here all alone. And they're watching right now. Everything. Time to be conscious of it. And if you're not conscious of it, if you're not aware, if you can't feel them, then you have not achieved what you can achieve. Not even close. You haven't even cracked open a seal. You can go on to do greater things than Jesus. He said it himself. How many of you even believe? You raise your chrism, your oil of gladness. You raise your vibration, your frequency. They see it. It's simple. Again, let me spoon feed it to you. If you have a lot of things you just made and you ask them all to do something simple, and those to do it start to vibrate and hum a certain frequency. All you got to do is look out in the field and see which ones are vibing the right way. And those are the only ones that count then, right? Wouldn't it suck to be you if like you weren't vibing right and God overlooked you because you did not listen? You did not live the way you were supposed to. There's no great teacher here, I'll give you that. I mean, you got Jesus, of course, but no one is here in the flesh on the daily is what people are looking for. To give them the message, to remind them, to wake them up. Well, I'm doing everything I can to tell you, to remind you of what you are, how to get out of here, unless you want to go back to sleep. But that's not what I do. That's not where I'm going. If I have anything to do with it, I'm doing every single thing to the moment I drop to say, not a single regret. You yanked me out of here whenever you did. It is what it is. It's over. There will be no regret, no remorse, no nothing. Did everything to my fullest ability and potential. I advise you do it too. Start overcoming these things controlling you in your life. If it's people, get them out. If it's drugs, do without. Alcohol, overcome. All these toxins, drinks, processed foods. Pick something. Pick something easy. Give up chocolate first. Maybe that's not easy for you. But start with the easiest thing, if that's what you got to do, and work your way up. This is how you unlock yourself. And you have to keep it there. You'll receive gifts when you do. One of them is what I call knowing. And it's being able to feel the Godhead watching, knowing it's there, knowing right this second. It's watching everything. It's like knowing someone's behind you watching you. That's why I call it that. I don't know what else to call it. No one ever taught me none of this. I had to figure it out on my own. So I give you the keys, the jewels, and I'm telling you on Saturdays from here on out, because I can't do it here. I've already been told, I can't do it here. Not on this platform. I'm going to drop the gems on Rumble on Saturdays. I'm really looking to begin it for the next year. Because there's so much hidden that you need to see before it's all up. When I start picking apart all these different parables, and I show you that there's a hidden meaning, because that's what a parable means. You know that, right? That alone should make something click in your mind. All Jesus spoke was parables. That means that something is hidden within everything he said. Last I checked, no one's come along and decoded all that. Well, I have. And I've been sitting on it for years. Dropping breadcrumbs. When you see the full picture, you will be unlocked. But unlocking you comes with the price. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to really want it. If you seek it, you'll find it. But they don't want that. And they've done show me that. They've chopped me down and attacked me harder than ever. Simply because I could tell you about we could talk about the fallen. I could talk about all this craziness. But I dare get to the point to show you the way out. That's when they cut me down. You remember that. Yeshua, Jesus, truly the way, the Messiah. And remember, there's an opposite to everything. As surely as you see the evil in this world, there are good angels. As surely as you see Satan and Lucifer and the evils, the pinnacle, there's a pinnacle of good. There has to be. By default, there's an opposite to everything. And that is the confirmation Jesus exists. It didn't matter if they lied to you about his name, when, his color, his all of it. By default, he had to exist. And when you know this, and you hold this in your heart, they can never fool you. You have them. You have power. It's time to start using it. Again, use it or lose it. Good night, Nemo. Good night, everyone. Lakeville, Cindy Lou, David, good to see everybody. All praise to the Most High. Period. And I don't know. I'm not going to be here forever to do this. So at some point, this is going to come spilling out. And I don't know. Hourglass is flipped. EC says 420, not 6. Hey, if that's what helps you. Now, I have nothing against the medicinal stuff. Any of the medicinal stuff that's out there, the herbal stuff God put here for people to have and use it. I mean, it's whatever. And you can argue you put tobacco here too as a natural plant and this and that. And it's even got certain properties that can be used for stuff and it's been proven. But, you know, it is what it is. Whatever floats your boat. But if it's hindering you in any way, then it's not good. You know, if it helps you in a way, then it's good, obviously. But time is short, man. Yeah, once you become enlightened, they can't control you. It's like once we get you pedaling, the training wheels come off. You're good. It's just getting you to that point. This is the raw. This is the real. You won't find it like this nowhere else. I can't find it like this nowhere else. You ain't gonna find. You ain't gonna find nothing else like this out there. Not like this. Thank you, Pat. Purpose. Purpose beyond self. What a name. Wow. The synchronicities is the way the other side communicates to me and like gives me signs. Thank you. Thank you for those coffees. It says stay strong in prayer. That is right. And I appreciate you right back. And it's a lot. We cover here tonight, man. 3 hours is still not enough. It's crazy, right? And I get to this point. I'm like, part of me always like, I want to keep talking, but then it gets too long. And other people try to watch these streams later, and I try to keep it at a certain length, man. Like, I do appreciate you guys hanging with me for all this. Yeah, they did make the major movie for a reason. Make it all for a reason, right? I don't know. My biggest takeaway here tonight is like, don't forget what like they're telegraphing to us here. Like, economic downfall seems to be coming. And we had all the signs when it happens. Even these attacks, any attack happens from January 1 to the whole freaking year, especially around the 4th of July. We've got, let me just write it down. I don't know the date. It's in February. All right. So in your mind, in February, the Olympics, the Winter Olympics pop off in Italy. Remember that? It could be targeted. The World Cup in Seattle, 2026, could be targeted. Easy. In the UFC White House event. Easy. That's the top big tier events to watch out. But never have you ever, talk about having a crystal ball. I mean, it's kind of like, I said we don't have a crystal ball, but it kind of, when I look at this, it's kind of what it is, and it's showing us. It's their way of doing it. Yeah, man. So, deep breath there, and just try to check in with chat here. Yes, stay strapped for sure, bro. We gotta hook up, man. Like if we gotta hook up because something's gotta happen here. Like, I'm being pressed hard to try to put together some kind of event. I don't know how it's gonna come together. I don't know who all is gonna come. I don't know what, where. I don't know nothing. I keep getting like somebody, spirit guide on the other side, man. He just got throwing it at me, like, hit me with it. Like, I gotta do something here. Like, there's good people you've yet to meet. I know you want that, right? Yeah, I do. Good point. Thank you, Ava. That's why. That's the only reason why. That is the absolute only reason why. It's because there's just, even if it's a handful of good people left to meet, like, every soul counts. I feel like I'm on a mission now to find good souls and meet them in the flesh. I gotta actually hold these conferences, invite people. People come there. A bunch of demons come as well, and undercovers. You gotta work your way through them all. You gotta shake everybody's hand, hug them. And God gave me a gift to know good energy. And they can't bypass it. Their fed that comes in there can't trip it up. And it's right then in that moment when I meet someone real. And I always think of Kev Bar. Kev Bar stands out because it was like the first conference. I'll never forget. He came. The way we locked eyes in the middle of the room, he's just like, is the way it happened. Like, I knew. Like, sometimes you just know, man. And like, when you can hug someone and really feel the energy and like get to know people, that's priceless. And that's how you really know, you know. And don't get it twisted. There's some demons dressed up as little old ladies out there, innocent old ladies out there that show up, making you think they're here to fight the fight. And they'll get you too. It's happened to me already. Trust me, I had a whole crew around me. And I prayed to God and I asked him to remove the fakes from around me. And when I come to find out, look, a lot of those people weren't even about God. They never even talked about God or Jesus or anything. And that's kind of like, it was my mistake. Yeah. All those guys that were around me all these years here recently and that faded away. Yeah. God works in mysterious ways. I put it in his hands. He asked us to do that, so I suggest you do that as well. Put it in God's hand. I do it with everything. They asked you in the Bible to do this. Don't go thinking you can tackle everything. He actually puts it that you come to him and put it in his hands. So I do that. I'm not one to ask anyone for anything. So it's hard for me to do that. It's hard for me to be a burden on anyone. But I have learned I have to do that. I ask for God, his help for everything. Even before every stream. I suggest you do it, man. There's a connection that has to be made between a lot of you and the Godhead. Still. Waiting on you. Waiting on you to activate. Shape up if you want to ship out. Or you can stay with these demons. I'm not. Best of my ability. And if I check out before touchdown, and I gotta go sit in the rock and wait, you'll find me in the righteous spot. Or you'll find me in the spot with Abel. Complaining with him that this place isn't righteous and that I don't want to incarnate back in here. Just like he. It was for that reason. The souls calling up to God. Why they wiped this place out. Same thing. Coming from the same place. These places were made. Your soul goes somewhere if you care. It's all there. The Book of Enoch, they wrote about it. Raphael took Enoch and showed him everything. And if you're missing that, you're missing a huge piece. There's hidden places. I don't know where they're at. Maybe it's part of the puzzle to still figure out, yet it's got to be. Is it Mount Fuji? Is it Mount Shasta? Is it Mount wherever? Is it the Himalayas? Somewhere on this planet, they told us, in the rock, they have a place inside the earth, in the rock for the souls. And there's a place for the bad to go to sit, to marinate. There's a place. They said it. There's multiple places. They describe it. Place for the good to go, and a place for complaints. And it describes. Enoch says he looks over, and Raphael showed him he's seen Abel crying to God, calling to God to take out Cain. It's a mind buster, man. Like, y'all missing it. Y'all missing out if you ain't going and seeking this knowledge, man. You better go get it. Time's almost up. And what are you going to do in this day and age and time? We could tell God, you were lazy. Didn't feel like doing it. It's pathetic. I'll come in here like Sergeant Slaughter and try to get y'all shaped up to ship out, like I said. Much love, Academy. I'm shutting it down here. It's been a long one. Ah, man. There's nothing more important than getting some of you guys out of here. The best that I can, with all the knowledge that I got, to at least give it to you. And then my work's done. And it's never done until I'm dead, really, because until I encounter every soul on the planet, the work's not done then, right? So this is why we pass the torch. You just better hope somebody's ready to grab it and run with it. Yeah, we're Cobra clutching them, dog. Jay from the Ville, another solid right there. Met in the flesh. A hug. Much love, Jacob. Man, see some of you cats, man. Some of you cats, man, I've had the honor to meet. Look forward to seeing some of you. Stay up, stay healthy, stay wise. Stay using discernment. Who needs entertainment when the truth is just as exciting, if not more? If you seek it, you will find. As I say all the time, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I will see you here next time for some Underground World News Live. Much love. God bless. Deanne, I just looked over and seen the coffees you got. Hey, thank you for everything, man. I can't wait for them neither. Seriously, thank you for everything. Wake Up America, the same. Much love. Right back at you. All the mods, all the crew, everybody out there, man. It's much love. God bless, man. Stay safe. And stay fighting the good fight. Much love, Meaningless. Stealing. God bless. Much love, Lauren, David, Spiro, Bella, Hoodie Ross out there. I hope all is good. Tacos, Dude, all the crew. Cindy Lou, Rapture Ready, Vet, Wake Up, Tiffany, Jailbroke, Davey. Much love, all y'all. Then we'll have a lot of it fried onion. Sherry, Tom, Tiffany, Bella, David, just in time. Much love. We also give a shout out to Steve that wasn't with us tonight, who's always supporting. Shout outs to Eon, who wasn't with us tonight. It's always supporting. Legends, man. I thank all of you guys that keep me in your prayers and that share the stream. Thank you. Much love.